Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of August 18th, 2019. On the cover, we have the Promised Neverland. We've got, I was about to say Sonju and Mujika, because I think of them as like a pair, but okay. So we've got Mujika, we've got Emma, Ray, and Le Gravelama. I won't say too much about the characters right now, because I know some people like to just talk, watch the start of this reaction without having seen the actual series that the cover's based on, so, I am very surprised by his color design, though. Like, we have not seen this character colored before. And, like, the skin's throwing me off, the visor's throwing me off, the hair's throwing me off. Like, I guess the visor makes sense because she's royal. I guess you could even say the skin also kind of makes sense because she's royal. Like, she's purple. Purple is the color of royalty. The red hair is really throwing me off, though. Like, I would have guessed either pure white or green, like, to kind of go along with the Musa thing. But legitimately, I thought it was going to be white. Red is really out there. Though I do like the contrast, actually. Like, the contrast with her skin, and then her jewelry is also red. Like, I can see what's going on there. I feel like it'd be better if her rings were colored gold, too, though, to kind of match the mask. I never got the impression that her mask was shiny in the manga. But okay, interesting. Overall, good cover. Before I jump into anything else, I want to say right at the very starts, we are going to be reading the Warden Higuma Epilogue at the very starts. I don't know if there's going to be more than one of these. I know that, they did say at the very end of the series, a special bonus chapter will run in, what was it? I think it was just Jump Plus. Like, it's not even in Shonen Jump itself. And because it was translated in the Viz version, I expected, Viz would get it, and they did. I don't know if this is going to be like, just the epilogue, or if it's going to just be like one of multiple, the way that Soma's getting multiple. So I'm leaving it like one, and if they say, like this is the end, then I'll, change that. If it's just, like to be continued, I'll keep this up as one or something. We'll see. Anyways, everything else is more or less the same as normal, so let's jump right into the Warden Higuma Epilogue. So at the very end of Higuma, we got, everything was kind of more or less the same, except Higuma met up with his cousins. And they were off to do something. I think they were going to kill, what was his name? Not N. N is from Dorohedoro, but the smoky boy. So maybe this will, be that mission. The living fill the realm with works of beauty, and I love beautiful things. It's worth staking your life for that beautiful radiance. Take hold of it. Interesting, though. I guess this must be this girl, but is this, not Ayaha? Is this the sister, then? Like, the sister to the cousin? Or maybe not. I thought they had light hair. And I know Ayaha definitely has light hair. So who is this? Epilogue, the Night of the Dragon. 2 months have passed since Akagane attacked. Also, this is really weird. I thought this meant 2 hours earlier Akagane attacked, but then, because it was 2 hours and then 2 months. But okay, so it's 2 hours since this, or 2 hours before the fireworks began. Okay. So we've got, oh boy, I forgot his name already. We've got Ayaha, we've got his friends. Okay, that's a good goof. I can understand that, though. Like, I haven't been to a lot of, county fairs and stuff. We don't really have those in my area, but I've always appreciated this concept of, going out and you get, the farmer's market food, or the, I've been to a couple of, not circuses, the ones that travel. And those are always really fun, because they always have the same stuff, but there's something exciting about going to, a circus or something, and getting those pretzels, or getting the, whatever that it is they happen to have there. Like, even if it's not good, it's the setting that makes it good. Okay, yeah, we've still got to finish off Akagane. Oh, okay. So, a high-ranking fugitive sphere is going to attack this festival. Okay, so who is... Oh, is this the girl? Does she... No, her outfit looks different. Like, this is very dark looking. Does she have the bandages around her hands? Can't really see them. Based on that shot, not really. Okay, so maybe not this girl, then. Oh, okay, so, we skipped right over that. That's... Like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, especially for like a Monster of the Week scenario, which the series was for a while until it, got canned. Like, assuming this is a branch off of the original ending, then it makes sense that they would just kind of like skip over a lot of that and cut right to the next big moments, as for the epilogue. Okay, sure. Like, I do appreciate this kind of thing. Like, work smarter, not harder. Especially because I really love the aesthetic of heroes that have minions or people to do the dirty work for them. So, the Bunraisha is such a cool concept. I love it. And he's gotten so much more chill than he used to be. So I assume she's got to be the target, right? But where are we going with this? Like, are we going to see one of the big boys? Like, I'd be kind of annoyed, actually, if it was Akagane. Like, if it were the Fox Boy, for instance, that'd be a lot better. But though it'd feel weird to just do that in one, epilogue chapter. I'm not sure what I want out of this epilogue now that I think about it. Because, like, I'd be unsatisfied if it was just a Monster of the Week fight. I'd also be unsatisfied if it was, like, them trying to rush the ending or pack in more plots or something. Or, like, a big, heady part of the plots. I want this to be plot relevant, just, not like... I don't want them to, like, squeeze in an entire arc or something, which it doesn't seem like they're doing. It does feel very light. Okay. So, does she know about this stuff, then? Like, we've seen pretty young people, like, not involved, but, like, part of the original, like, vibe of the series I got was that Higuma was going to save a lot of kids. So maybe she was saved by either Higuma or by a different Hell Warden, and now, like, she knows vaguely about it. Like, maybe her parents are some of the Bunraisha that are out there, actually. Like, that would explain why she's alone and why she doesn't really mind that she's alone. Okay, so we don't even get to see, like, an imaginary version. It's just a drawing. The Dancing Dragon at the Crossing. Duration in Hell, 372 years. Like, it feels weird that it's a fugitive spirit that is a dragon. Like, just because... Huh. Like, yeah, that is weird. Okay, so I assume this is the dragon's doing. It's rating scales. Ah, right, they wouldn't notice. So they can have a whole, like, fight, like, amongst a ton of people without actually hurting any of them, or without them running away, without them ruining the festival. Oh boy, yikes. Oh, this reminds me a little of, the Chinese tale of, where you pull out the, was it the teeth of a dragon? Then, like, you bury them and they turn into warriors. Kind of like that, except they're not being buried. It's just the scales are turning into monsters. Okay. So, yeah, like, they're just cannon fodder. But still, a cannon fodder is enough to hurt innocent people, so you gotta candle them. Ooh, that's cool. That's so cool. Like, they were all just normal people in the crowd, and without even having to, like, run off or anything, they can just transform in the middle of the crowd because no one's really paying attention. God, this is the kind of stuff I so wanted out of the series. Oh, okay. Ooh, and it's so bestial, too. Like, unlike the other fugitive spirits, which all looked, at least vaguely humanoid, this does seem like a straight-up monster. Like, why? How is this once a human? Oh, was the girl the dragon, then? Maybe. Like, maybe the dragon likes to show up here, and, it took the form of the girl just to, try and do it without being noticed, but then it came out for some reason, maybe? No, okay, the girl's still here. Never mind. That feels a little, like... Like, clearly if either she can see him transform, or at the very least, she can see him, like, disappear. I don't know if the rule was specifically for children, but, like, that feels a little weird to do. Oh, and she's looking up, so clearly she does see him. Okay. Alright, I don't remember if we've seen this one again, but cool. Getting another weapon, and it's an iron fan, carrying on the vague Journey to the West theme that Jump's been having this year for some reason. I mean, it's a very tenuous theme, but still, I would have only known about it because of Actage. Ah, so he's Lord Ngetsu's trusted retainer. So he is like a big boy, even if he wasn't like one of the main 2 or main 3 we saw at the end of the series. And yeah, that does make sense. Like, if they are moving towards the end game, like, I doubt we'll see the end game, but, like, this seems to be an important step. And therefore, he would want to, like, have, be able to interrogate him. Huh. Yeah, like, how is he going to do it? Especially if the wind is, like, affecting normal people. Like, we're seeing normal people brace themselves. So, how? And why are we focusing on the girl so much? Like, clearly she does see them. Does she have some sort of, like, killer thing to help out with? I could see that. Like, I was saved by Hell Wardens, or my family is, related to the Hell Wardens, and therefore I wanted to help just here, just here so that I can see the fireworks. Okay, so attacking from within. God damn, right through the back of the head. Oh. Okay, so it's one of those deals. Like, he didn't blow its brain matter, but it doesn't have any because it's just a puppet. So is the girl the dragon, then? It looks like it's... Oh, geez. Okay. So, okay, so it wasn't the girl. It was just whatever this thing is. Huh. But again, like, the girl can see him, theoretically. Like, she's definitely looking up because she's watching the battle, but she didn't, like, flinch at all at the arrow. It's gotta be that her parents are, Bunraisha. Okay. Oh, this is, the third one. The one where I was like, oh, this is one of the big three? Huh, so maybe building up that she's not necessarily a villain. Or, like, she is a villain, obviously, but, like, she is at least, she cares more about the fireworks than, like, the greater good, the final plan. He's still soft. I kept you here because you said you wanted to watch the fireworks. Right. Okay, so bringing it back around. So, at the very start, this was her. And, like, it was her in this form, I guess? Does she have, or, I guess she must. Yeah, she does. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's a really cool misdirect. Like, we had two really good misdirects in this, finale. I mean, it's the constant struggle of war that, yeah, people are individually, like, they are people in the end. Like, soldiers can find common ground, but that doesn't stop the war itself. It doesn't stop the greater ideological conflicts. Yeah, I mean, I guess he wants to interrogate her a bit more, but still, not a good idea. Yep, so, no progress whatsoever. I didn't even consider that at the moment. Like, yeah, she was also just silencing him. Because he was super small. They could have theoretically captured him and then made him speak. Sorry, I thought I missed a part, but no. So I guess we are just doing the quick flashes of everyone as they are right now. We got absolutely nothing from the siblings. Like, god damn it, I was really expecting to at least see... I mean, I guess this is a glimpse, but I meant, like, a glimpse of them with Higuma, for instance. But I guess it makes sense. Like, if you're gonna do something like this, you may as well whittle it down to the core cast for a little bit, to avoid stretching the focus too much. Like, I really did enjoy the pace of this. Okay, so it does say the end. It's not like, part 1 or part 2 or whatever. It is like, this was the epilogue. So, let me just get rid of that. Overall, fine epilogue. Not the best, not the worst. As is very rare, I'm going to put that in right there. It's the first thing. It's the first and the last simultaneously. This is usually what Actage gets to do, but not this time. Overall, I mean, Higuma's a fine series. I probably wouldn't recommend it to most people, but, like, to someone who just wants a quick dip into shonen, I'd probably be like, yeah, sure. But there's a lot more I would say to check out first, like, like Iron Knight, or definitely oh boy, Mary Grave, like, for sure Mary Grave. There's a ton of series that I would put way before I'd say, oh, maybe you should check out Hell Warden Higuma. That was a thing that ran in Jump. It was ultimately an Exorcist series. Not a big fan of those. And it didn't have a lot of interesting things to say. It had things to say, for sure, and, like, it wasn't like it was ultimately bad. Just, it didn't really set itself apart in any interesting way, and I never got super hyped about the Zaiju. Like, even in this epilogue, where clearly we got to see 2 new Zaiju that we had never seen before, I still didn't really get hyped by them at all. Whereas, like, in something like, The Last Saiyuki, I'm super hyped whenever we see a new Nyoibo move or something. just because it's like, oh, that's a cool new part of the arsenal. Whereas with Higuma, I guess the Saiju are too specific. They're too specific, and they're too far apart from one another. So it's hard for me to be like, okay, I remember all of these. It's just like, oh, that's a thing, I guess. That's also a thing, I guess. There's too much going on. The cast itself, fine. Like, there's not a whole lot that has changed as a result of this epilogue. It just, it would have been a pretty alright series. I don't think it deserved to be cancelled, but at the same time, it wasn't good enough to be a jump. It wasn't a series that I was, like, always jumping to. I never thought, like, oh man, Higuma, I really want to check out that Higuma. I was always like, oh yeah, Higuma's fine. It was always below Annihilation for me, so meh. But overall, it's an alright epilogue. So that is Hell Warden Higuma. Next is Actage, Chapter 67, or 77. Whoops, I lied. So we did a bit of a time skip. Cool. Less than 2 months remain before the opening of Princess Iron Fan. Okay, so I didn't even consider this. Like, Yanagi has no sword fighting experience, and she's gonna have to be pretty damn good. Like, choreography is real difficult. It really is. I was recently watching a Kamen Rider stage play, or at least just like a small portion of one, the Zangetsu one, if you know about that. And I was, like, not blown away by the fighting, but I was thinking, like, man, this isn't that great, but at the same time, I really appreciate what they're doing to make this work. Because, like, one of the actors was, like, on the stage, one of them was, or I guess on, like, a raised part of the stage, the other actor wasn't, and the raised part had this projector on it, or, like, a projector screen. So, like, he could do, like, special effects and stuff, and, like, the one on the bottom couldn't. And because of the weird elevation thing, they had to, like, time all of their slashes so that they worked out while there's a clear, like, distance between the two of them, which would have made it real obvious that, like, this blow sure isn't hitting, and they had to make up for that by either, like, actually hitting a couple times, or by, like, using effects to give off the feeling of, oh, that was a big sword slash that hit him, not the actual sword itself. Like, I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. And I can't imagine Unagi's going to be that good at it. Like, she's always been physically not the strongest. Like, she's got determination, but in terms of, like, finesse, and, like, I don't think she's got that, quite. Whereas, like, Riku is very well built, he's got that energy to him. I can 100% imagine that, like, as long as he's paying attention to the choreography, he's going to do fine. Not worried in the slightest. Yeah, it looks like she's pretty tired. Yeah, Kate keeps messing up in the sword fight. But the fact that we know that, like, the exercises and techniques she is nailing, she can do it. And presumably, like, by herself, she can do all the moves without, it really straining her. So is it just a clash of personality, maybe? Like, that could be it. It's like, she can clearly stand up to Ogami when they're not, like, physically, engaging one another. When it's just them talking. But maybe it's, like, doing that along with the physical labor is what's really straining her. Like, she's finding it difficult because she's doing two things at the same time. Okay. Right. So, can you show us more fire, Kay? Yeah. She isn't really fighting the Monkey King, she's really battling the Ox King, her absent husband. Right. Because, again, like, she is a method actress. And, for those of you who haven't really read a lot of Actage for some reason, like, if you're just jumping in via my reactions or something, I do want to make it clear. Method acting is, despite what many people think, it is using your own experiences to inform your acting. That, the pop culture idea of it is, you go out into the woods and you do a bunch of stuff for a while, and that is something we've seen in the series. But that's not necessarily the method. Like, if you've just lived, a certain experience for quite a bit, drawing on that and, like, acting as if you're back in that position is also a valid way of performing method acting. Like, everything Kay does is method acting. Like, even, like, a lot of what she's done has been just, figuring out this moment or this feeling and then going back on it, trying to bring that back again. Talking to a dying person to channel the power of someone who is dying. And she's done, she's able to channel the power of her god. Like, that was pretty amazing. But, like, this specific thing, it's too emotional. Like, she's never had an ex. She's never been this, like, deeply betrayed. I'm thinking maybe she could, like, focus on the feelings that her family gave her, maybe, like, her absentee dad. But I don't know quite how that would work out, because it is a very different feeling. And Princess Iron Fan has a very specific emotion, it feels like. Like, her conflict is extremely specific. If Kay tries to just do something analogous to it, is that going to really work? I thought maybe I should just get married if I don't have anyone to marry. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So what are they getting her for? Oh yeah, they are all coming. Sure. Let's see how this goes. Like, I feel like Choco's not gonna have the same problem. It's gonna be one of those things where they both inspire each other once again. But like, I guess, like, I don't know how Chioka would come up with this. Ah, God, she is fierce. And I do love the art. Like, Actage doesn't tend to really flex with the art a lot, but I think that the very simplistic scenes that Actage has to do is part of what makes it great. Like, anyone can take this big clash between two, like, powerful demon lords and make it look cool. But to just have two actors doing something and not even showing, what they're imagining, just having it be the power of the acting and conveying that, like, that is extreme talent. And especially considering how young the Actage mangaka is. Like, my gosh. Yeah, she did say that, like, before she walked in. Like, her voice is different. Yeah, like, she's really going for it. And I just realized it's gotta be the, the fact that she is struggling to keep up with Yanagi. Like, that's it, right? Like, that's what she's fighting for. To her, like, she's not fighting the Ox King, she's not fighting Araya, she is fighting Yanagi. That's why, like, she has that fire. Yeah, she's doing all this to beat me while I'm struggling just to craft my character. Now that her heart's into it, like, yeah, Kuriyama's going right into it. He's pushing her as hard as he can. And don't forget, your true enemy. And that's why he called for Kay, specifically for this moment. For this moment. Oh my god. The way Chiyoko looked at me. Yeah. Just stay right where you are. Just feed into her hatred. Just as Princess Ironfan's rage is pointed towards her husband, Chioko's is pointed at me. And sure, that's no way to look at a friend, but at the same time, Kay, this is what you do. Like, when she's in the moment, her feelings as an actress are indistinguishable from her real feelings. That's just how she acts. Like, I get why, but I think this might be her realizing through Chiyoko that, oh, what I'm doing is pretty messed up. I have to find it inside myself too, a rage even greater than Chiyoko's. So, good chapter, really good chapter. I think that the rage even greater than Chiyoko's might be her feeling toward her father. Like, hey, I had to raise my family by myself. You didn't help. Like, maybe you kept the lights on, but, it didn't seem like that at the start, because, she was... Like, they were living in abject poverty. I think that's gotta be it. And that'd be a good way to introduce her father, whoever he is, as, like, an important person, but also as an asshole. Which is a very, like, powerful theme in Hollywood, so I can see that working out. Oh man, good chapter. Definitely better than the Higuma chapter, like, right now. Let me just put that up there right now. Fantastic. Like, Chiyoko's just a good rival character because I don't... Even though she is number 2, first of all, the series hasn't gone on long enough for me to think, oh yeah, she's always number 2. But also, like, she gives off that powerful feeling of not wanting to be number 2. Of wanting to be number 1, and it's right within her grasp, and it feels like she could completely dethrone Kay. And I think, like, depending on how long the series is going to be, she could. Like, the end of this whole play duel could be Kay, like, losing, and then having to figure out what she wants to do with her life, now that she knows that, like, yeah, Chiyoko's better than her, and Chiyoko gets that, that renewed sense of self. She gets to not expire after a few years, like her mother wanted her to. I can see this going on. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Okay, so that is Actage. Let's move on to Black Clover, chapter 216. I'm trying to cut down on the pauses, by the way, because I can't edit these videos as much as I used to. So I figured, let's not take breaks. Let's not, like, do awkward pauses. I'm still doing awkward pauses, but I'm not intending to. I want to just bang it out, so I have to do less editing, and therefore you guys can see Weekly Shonen Jump faster, and, it doesn't take me like days and days and days to do it. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, this last chapter was not good, but I liked the content of it, and that was a good cliffhanger of just, yeah, you're gonna die. Also, the Clover Kingdom is screwed. Okay. Have we ever brought this up? I feel like we have, right? But I don't know if we have. I mean, yeah, Asta's met the devil inside of him, right? Okay, so I guess he didn't. Like, or he never pinned it down. And, like, the devil inside never said, I'm a devil. I wasn't sure if that happened during the Witch Arc or not. Okay. I do appreciate, by the way, that, yeah, like, no one feels stupid in the series. Like, I love the way they handled Sekra slash Nero, and I really appreciate that the series is acting as if, yeah, like, when characters go through things, they remember them. They might not immediately pick up on them, sure, but once it's pointed out, they're like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? And that's a good way of, both telling the audience, hey, guess what, we foreshadowed this, while also making the characters not seem stupid. Okay. Black horns are proof that humans have ventured into the realm of forbidden magic and had dealings with the world beyond this one. They're a curse known as Veg, or is it Weg? Okay. It's where the devil are said to live. Yeah, that's right, the other worlds, which the word devil talked about all the time. Oh, that's why she has the horns too. Okay, that's cool. And, like, the reason why Asta doesn't always have them is because, like, he's not always cursed. It's just when he's channeling that power. Like, then it shows up. Okay, cool. Cool. And she can switch forms, which is cool, because that means, A, we still have Nero around, but also, she can be, an ally. She can be a Black Bull. And it's not transformation. It is sealing magic, confirming once again that her sealing magic, which everyone thought was super stupid, is actually amazing. It's so varied. Yeah. Okay. So we are, yeah. I mean, I imagine what he meant wasn't like the Clover Kingdom is going to literally explode. It's more just, we've shown ourselves to be weak, and also we lost a ton of Magic Knights. Okay, Diamond Country, we've seen a bit of them before, sure. Hardest Country, it took in its rich natural mana, just it was adapted. Okay, So natural mana. So, And then there's a nation that's served by the ancient evils that sleep in its vast frigid land and is attempting to gain supremacy. Spade, the country of demons, winter, and many mysteries. Okay. And that's why they're so cold, because they're above the other two. Interesting. So yeah, like, they can't really defend against this. Also, it feels like Spade's gonna be the final boss then. Like, Diamond Kingdom, Clover Kingdom's already dealt with a bit, but not totally. I could see the next one being Heart, really, because, Heart doesn't seem to be evil or anything. They don't seem to be expansionists either, so, meet with the Heart Kingdom, there's gonna be some problem there. The Black Bulls will solve that. They'll, open up trade. Then the Diamond Kingdom, I imagine, will have, like, a return. We'll see their vengeance. And then after both of those, I think then, finally, they'll, deal with the Spade Kingdom. Or the Spade Kingdom might, influence both of them. Maybe even the Spade Kingdom has been working with the Diamond Kingdom. Like, oh boy, I can see so much now. And we still haven't delved into, like, wherever Yami's from, too. Which is, like, way over on a different continent. And yeah, like, I, as a Magic Knight, would not trust anyone who turned it, who was reincarnated. Like, sure, I would hear the excuse and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense, but at the same time, you tried to kill me. You actually did kill some of my brethren. Like, that's tough to deal with. And actually, that Nah Devil is behind all of it. Can we call him that now? The Nah Devil? Oh, shit, right. Yeah, because he's also, like, he has the power of the devil. It's not the same one, but still. And, yeah, what is the Magic Parliament? I just kind of accepted that immediately. The House of Kira. I mean, we know so very little about them, which is so wild considering that the current king is part of the House of Kira. Oh no! Oh no! I swear to God. Like, if the king has the power to, like, appoint the Wizard King, there's a possibility that Sekka is gonna be the goddamn Wizard King. Which I would lose my mind over. Oh boy, well, I mean, Sekka has been a part of the series since the start, so fail upwards. Fail upwards. Okay, who the hell are these boys? Based on the designs, actually, I guess Diamond Kingdom, probably. Okay, someone with actual power, come on, step in. Oh, are there 4 of them? Yeah, there is. So some sort of, like, scale magic that, you know, changes the distribution of magic. Oh, okay, so they're just anti-monarchists. You're the House of Kiras. Okay, so that's what the Parliament is. Like, the Parliament is part of the House of Kira, and that's why we haven't seen much of the House of Kira at all, because now they're gonna get the real focus. Especially if, like, I still don't understand whether the Wizard King is, like, whether Julius is still the Wizard King, or if they're gonna have to do another appointment or something. But, oh boy. Like, there's so much potential, and I'm really glad it seems like we're kicking right into another arc, whatever it is. In the name of the royal family, in the name of justice, I swear I'll condemn you, devil-possessed wretch. Are they, like... So I guess they must be devil-possessed if that's, like, an actual devil finder spell. Huh. His name's Damnatio, which is a dope name. Oh, man, okay, good chapter. Much better than the last chapter. Like, most of it was just world building, but I'm into that. I'm really into that. Like, we learned a little more about Sekra. We learned about the horns, which I didn't even realize was going to be a thing. I didn't realize these were going to be connected. I thought... I don't remember if you've seen any of the other birds, but I thought they all had the little horns. Although, depending on how long she's lived, it could be that those are all her children, now that I think about it. But, like, oh, we got to see the other countries, too! Man, there is so much here. Yeah, overall, good chapter. Gonna put that bad boy, probably above Actage. Although, I don't know. I guess I'll put it below. Like, it was a good chapter, but Actage, dang. It's a strong series. Like, I keep on, like, underselling it, but it is really good. And this was a lot of stuff I liked, I wanted to know about, but, like, it didn't have anything super explosive in it. I do think the Seke reveal is funny, though. I do hope he does get some sort of promotion here. Like, maybe not up to, like, maybe up to Vice Captain, actually, because I think it would be kind of a punishment in a way for him to be, like, right under Jack. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so that is Black Clover. Next is The Last Saiyuki, Chapter 23. Final chapter! Fuck! Fuck! Oh no! Oh no! Shit! So, I've never been able to tell, like, I've been saying, but no, Last Saiyuki's not ending, it's just a slow series, this is the pace. But damn it! Damn it! I hate this. I hate it because I love The Last Saiyuki. I don't want it to end, like, ever. Or, like, I want it to go, like, at least 100 chapters. It's so good, and the pace of it is so unlike what's currently popular in Jump, and I was really happy that it was working. But okay. I mean, I guess thematically, I can kind of see how they're gonna end it here. But, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Once again, ending it off with, screw you, you piece of crap, father. Aww, oh my gosh. This tiny little, like, he reminds me so much of Akagi. And so, like, even seeing this smile, it's such a perfect Akagi smile, where, like, in Akagi, you can tell when Akagi's smiling, because you have to look right at the very end, there's, like, a 1 pixel turn up. That's basically this. It's a little more happy, actually, but still, like, it's got that energy to it that I love. And especially after we've seen almost all of these shots before, like, or not these shots, but like, we've seen the ball game at the start of the series. We saw the beach very recently in the flashback. Like, God. Yep, Estelle did make that promise. She's here for the long run. So one day, maybe me, Koharu, and Estelle can go to school together and make more friends. Me and Shige are going to play in a baseball game, and everyone will come and cheer us on. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm really happy that we're seeing this. We're seeing, what could be. But we've got to see, if not the end, at the very least, we need to see the flash forward from Chapter 1. Like, if with any series that does a flash forward, like with Boruto, for instance, if Boruto gets cancelled somehow, which is probably not going to happen, but still, at the very least, they need to go and address the flash forward. Same with this. If Last Saiyuki does not do the flash forward, I'm going to be legitimately upset. Like, I imagine it's got to be just another flash forward back to that moment, but still. But yeah, like, he still doesn't like him, but he gets him now. Like, he understands it. And he's like, yeah, you know what? You weren't the best, but I've got hopes for the future. And I want to be there with you, too. Oh my god, that's so cute. I love it. That's a fantastic... Oh, man. It'll be such a fun day that even you will laugh out loud, Pops. Oh, and him with Furuka, too. Like, you can just imagine everyone else is playing around and doing stuff. Like, he does play catch a bit. But then he sits down with Furuka and they talk about business. They talk about, Nyoibo stuff. They act as if they don't have emotions, because that's what they enjoy. Oh my god, and he's crying. Like, we saw before, this was just, a bit of sweats. But this is straight up a tear. For me, this place isn't hell. Because, yeah, before in the flashback, he was like, I feel awful about bringing someone into this world that we know is ending. And so Ryunosuke's answering it by saying, yeah, guess what? I'm fine with this. Even if, the final demon's coming, even if we are in the Last Saiyuki, I'm fine with this. What you want and what Mom wanted doesn't matter. No matter how scary this era is, I want to be here. Because I already know that there are lots of fun things here. I have a ton of things I want to do. There are lots of people I want to be here with. And there are people who want to be with me. Oh my god. We already know the despair that is coming. Oh man. And that we will need courage to face it. Like, this is honestly such a good way of wrapping it up too. Because, like, what they're basically saying is, like, yeah, like, I'm happy with this ending. Like, oh my god, that's... Like, in a meta sense, that's actually super cool. The idea that Ryunosuke is literally talking about the fact that the series is done. That they are coming up against the end. That what we're going to see, like, we've already seen this part. Like, we are getting the flash forward. I imagine it's going to just be, like, a glimpse of what would have been. And even then, it's like, yeah, like, I know all about all of this. We know it's going to happen. The point is, the part that we've already done. It's not seeing this end. It's not, like, going through all the steps. It's just getting to this point where I'm fine with you being around. I'm fine with Koharu. There's a future we want to be in. A single person may only have a little bit of courage and may crack under pressure. And we're seeing all the hats, too. Like, all the baseball fans of all things. But even if it's just a little bit, if we had it all together, if everyone's hopes for the future gather together, and of course, like, they're all fans of baseball, and he's wearing, he's gonna wear the same hat, he's holding a baseball bat. Which is just a cool idea in its own way. Like, the idea that, oh my god, and, oh fuck, what was his name? They just said it already, Shige. Like, Shige's there too. So, like, presumably, in this future, and, King Boy is there too. I forgot what his name was, but, like, he's mutated. Oh, wait, no. That's not even him. That's, Sai, right? Yeah, because he's floating. I just know it's because of the sparkles. So this is a future also where, Gohaku's boss either gets defeated or he gets, like, the Crown Boy gets transferred over and he's on their side now. They're both facing off against the final boss. Shige's there too. It doesn't look like he had... Oh, maybe his Nyoibo is the catcher's mitts. Like, so he has that parallel with, oh my gosh, and Ryunosuke, I just realized that, yeah, like, obviously, the baseball bat is his Nyoibo, which we didn't ever get to do in the series itself. Like, that must have been, like, a thing that was planned for way later in the series, that eventually, like, he has the power to turn into anything, but eventually he would settle on the baseball bats. Like, when he's finally decided on what he wants to be, like, what form he wants to take. Because that's another thing, like, we saw all those other Nyoibo users that had different forms or different, like, fictional characters they wanted to pattern themselves against. So to think that Ryunosuke wants to just be a baseball player, like, that is the form that gives him the most courage. Like, and he's older too, like, there has been some time that's passed. They've all grown up, they've all gone to school. Oh my god, Estelle's wearing the same outfit as, oh fuck, we were just saying his name, Furuka. Holy shit, that's so cool! And, like, even the little suspenders, like, she's, like, the two of them completely accepted, yeah, he's basically her father at this point, like, an adoptive father, but yeah. Also, that's so cool, like, to think that she no longer thinks of, like, the magical girl form as being the thing that gives her strength. The thing that gives her strength is dressing up to look like Mr. Furuka, because, oh my god, that's so cool! Holy shit, that is so cool! And, like, Gohaku's back, he's still, he doesn't have his eye back, he didn't regain regeneration, but he can control the Nyoibo the way he did before, he can turn it into lightning. Or, he can make it look like lightning. Oh my god! There's no fear that can't be overcome. I already know what the end of the story is. I know what the future holds. The end. Like, this is 100% not the intentional ending, of course, obviously. But, of all the rushed endings I've seen, this is one of my favorites, legitimately. Like, when I think of rushed endings, the one that always comes to mind now is, Iron Knight, which I love. I was just talking about it earlier, by the way. But, with Higuma. But I've got to say, like, this is better because it thematically works so well. Like, the series has always been about stories and about, destiny to some extent. I really appreciate this. I really love this storyline. The fact that, like, they're ending it not with even a, the story continues, but just with, we know it's gonna end. Like, we know how it's gonna go. That's something I always loved about the first season of Samurai Jack. If you've ever seen that, this isn't really that much of a spoiler, but in the first season, the very last episode is a bunch of kids, like, it's a bunch of kids and the final villain, and they're talking, and they're like, okay, here's some stories about Samurai Jack. And obviously, all the ones, they're all supposed to be propaganda. But at the very end of the episode, the kids come together, and they explain, like, okay, so this is how the final fight's gonna go down. Like, and there's all the obvious beats about Jack killing Aku, and it's so, like, clearly obvious. And ever since that point, like, Samurai Jack did get a new season relatively recently, where it has an actual ending, but I didn't ever really want that, because, like, there's no point to it. Like, that ending of the first season showed off that, yeah, we know what the ending's gonna be. Like, it's gonna be some variation of, Jack shows up, and he's trained a bunch, and he uses a bunch of awesome samurai skills, and he kills Aku, and then he saves the world. And then he goes back to, to his old time. And this has so many elements of that. Like, with all this implied storytelling. Like, we can kind of see what it was going to be like, and it doesn't matter. We don't need to see, pages and pages and chapters of everyone at school, and everyone fighting more monsters, and eventually, like, Koharu awakening everyone's Mo, and everyone going into that final fight and actually landing all the punches and winning. Because we know what's going to happen, more or less. We don't have the tiny little beats, we don't have time for that, but we know how it's going to turn out. And I really adore that. For a series that was always about stories, and for a series that proclaimed itself to be the last Saiyuki, after establishing that, yeah, Saiyuki is shorthand for, like, these big, ancient, mythical tales. The idea this is the very last one. In something like that, like, we've seen it so many times. We know how it ends, for the most part. We know that humans win. It just comes down to giving it all you've got. And it's not like that makes it easier. It's just the fact that it's a foregone conclusion doesn't mean that everyone's, all the effort everyone's putting into it doesn't matter. But it means that we don't have to see all of it. We know how it's going to go down. And seeing all these tiny little glimpses of how things could be, like, I think that works so well because we've seen how much dedication, how much thought the series puts into all the characters. Like, because of that, even though we've only seen Shige for that one arc, it completely makes sense to me. Yeah, sure, he would be here. Just because of his design, I can immediately see, the arc that would have happened. With him, either regaining his old memories or just ending up in another scheme. Him deciding to become a Nyoibo user. Him deciding to use a myth instead of a traditional staff-based Nyoibo. And then the two of them coming up with some crazy cool strategies, plans, and stuff. Like, working together in order to come up with his brand new fighting style. Like, there's so much here that is... I'm just restating myself at this point, but The Last Saiyuki is great. I just said earlier in this reaction that I would not recommend Warden Higuma to anyone, or like, I would do it after I've already said like 50 other series. After all of those, I'd be like, okay, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. I remember Higuma being okay, check that out, I guess. But The Last Saiyuki would be so far ahead of those. Even though, in the end, like, I don't think it's the most satisfying series, I do think, like, it is a great shonen series. It's a series that I had a blast reading, chapter after chapter. Because, yeah, even if it isn't building to anything that we'll see, like, I enjoyed the build. I enjoyed the idea of a series that didn't have to follow the traditional Weekly Shonen Jump format. If you go back and watch my reaction to the first 3 chapters, I always talk about a new series. I'm always like, oh yeah, the 3 chapters are always the same. You've got this, you got that, you got that. The Last Saiyuki does not even explain what the series is about in the first 3 chapters. That's how slow and how methodical it is, and it works so well. Like, it is such a unique Jump series. It maybe would have been better outside of Jump, to be honest. Like, it might be too good and too different for Jump, but ultimately, I'm happy that it ran at all. I'd like there to be more, but I know that very rarely ever happens. Series that get canceled usually don't come back, and this does feel like it was meant to be an ending. Like, if you enjoyed The Last Saiyuki, this is it. This is what you wanted to see. We're not going to, like, go back and redo all of it. We're just gonna, we're leaving it at that. And I appreciate that in its own way. So ultimately, holy shit. The Last Saiyuki is... I don't even want to tag it with end, but I've got to. Like, that's the thing I've been doing whenever I read a final chapter. And... honestly, I should probably put it here, too. So, yeah. What a fantastic chapter. It is... like, the only downside to it is really just that it's not more chapters, that that Last Saiyuki is not continuing. But it wrapped everything up in the way I wanted it to, in the sense that it wasn't really about the plot as much as it was about the characters, and it wrapped up the characters, and it showed us what I wanted to see from the characters. I wanted to see them at school. I wanted to see them being happy. I wanted to see where they might, what they might look like in the final fights. I wish there was more. So, that's it. If you've been watching Last Saiyuki, if you've been reading Last Saiyuki, if you've been watching my reactions, thank you so much for being here for that whole time. This was amazing. This was fantastic. I dislike that Samurai 8's still running in Jump when The Last Saiyuki did anything that I would have wanted from Samurai 8, but 1,000 times better. And now it's over. So, thank you so much for watching. We're going to continue on, but man, this is a real downer going into it, but we gotta do it. Next is... We Never Learn, chapter 123. Sorry, if you don't read The Last Saiyuki, boy, I'm coming off of it right now, and it was a bummer. Okay, so we've got Sekijo, we've got Naruyuki's sister, and we've got not Sensei, but boy, what is her name? Miharu. So like all of the, I guess Sekijo's not a younger sister though, right? Right? I guess no, okay, I see what's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, I love this person. Because, yeah, like, she loves her sister, she loves her brother, and she loves, Ogata. Honestly, all of them are alright ships, except for this. Like, I'm not into incest in general, I think it's a garbage tier shit fetish. But also, I don't like her very much as a character, because Miharu did, she's never been great. Still, their thoughts turn to the parting year and X. Okay, so Yuga's out with his friends, who... do we even have names for these people? I guess we are. Kobayashi. Okay, so Kobayashi and Omori. I'm not gonna remember these. They're so not people. Hey. Okay, these are all alright. I don't really like Ogata with this hairstyle. It looks boring. Like, her hairstyle's already kind of, like, very simplistic, so making it even more simple is not great. Really, the best one here is, it's hard to tell. Like, Furuhashi fits very well because she's very traditionally feminine, or very traditionally Japanese. This not really doing it for me. He's truly matured so much. He's capable of blushing and saying that they look good. Calories get reset when the year starts over. Oh boy, that's a questionable logic. Oh my. Holy shit, Rizu, that's a power move. First of all, doing the whole I'm gonna feed him, not you, but also doing it with straight up udon. I mean, she probably has experience, she works at an udon shop, but still. God damn, so bold! They've all become so bold! Hey, Kaminami! Yeah, why are they working here? Like, this seems very much like a thing that like, we always come at the end of the year. But, like, to work here at a shrine? Like, shouldn't the shrine people be working here? Is that not the point of a shrine? Someone came by and bought up all the academic success charms. Okay, so it's gotta be one of the girls, then. Oh, it might be Sensei, actually. Because that would make sense. Like, because we haven't seen her yet. And that'd be a cool way of, like, having her pull off a power move. Of, like, she shows up, she gives everyone the charms, and then she does something special for Yuiga, maybe. Or, like, maybe she grabbed just all of them, and she accidentally grabbed one of the loved ones, and that's the one she gives Yuiga by accident. That'd be cool. Oh my god. Seriously, like, I'm not usually the biggest fan of TZ characters, but Kominami's been hitting straight A's all the time. I love the way she does it. I love her character. It's the best. Oh boy, what's this? What is this ass? And why is it vaguely familiar? Oh my god, I just noticed you can see the panty lines. Yep, if Miharu's looking, that's gotta be Sensei then. How did that happen? It's a long and complicated story. That's not very complicated at all. Yeah, that's very simple. Yep, she bought him. And that's why she has literally all of them, because, like, she's probably going around to all the kids and giving them all the charms. Yeah, that's super cool. It feels so weird that we were doing, like, a year-end chapter when, in the real world, it's August. I do think it's cool, though. Like, I am getting a strong feeling from it. Like, it's cold there, but it's warm here. It makes me cool just, like, reading the chapter. There's something really cool about that. Hey, and Joe is here. She wasn't just on the cover. Alright, time for those prayers. Yeah, it was a crazy year with a ton of challenges. Like, I don't know how much further they can go. I guess it has to be, like, just the final exams, and then that's it. So it is pretty big when you think about it. Like, it's been a real long time out of Universe, but in Universe, it hasn't been, like, it's only been 1 year. And their character designs changed so much. And legitimately, even though we are going back to saying, like, yeah, these are the main trio, at the same time, I can see what people are talking about when they say that, she, like, I can see how Sensei could be Final Girl, just by saying that, yeah, like, these are his students. He's the teacher. Why should he try to date any of them? That'd be weird. It makes more sense for him to date Kirsu Sensei. Because he's, like, a half step between a student and a teacher, and she's a teacher. Like, yeah, I can see it. Oh, and even that, the meta-tone note of we're probably near the ends. Which, yeah, we are both, like, in-universe and out. So all I can wish for is that whatever lies ahead for them is full of happiness. Alright, Happy New Year! So, it's an alright chapter. Not my favorites. But it was pretty good. Let's put that bad boy, honestly, not my favorites. I think it was better than Higuma. Like, as a festival chapter even. I liked it more than the Higuma one, but I don't know. It really was not my favorites. Like, there wasn't a whole lot that I really enjoyed. The focus was too split. It was a all-girls chapter. We didn't have nearly enough of the girls that are actually the best. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at the bottom. It did not do what I wanted it to. Like, the more I think about it, the more I feel like, yeah, it would be completely underchanging the Warden Higuma epilogue to say that this was better than it. So we'll leave it there. Alright, and, God. Now the Last Saiyuki's gone, there's gonna be so few pre-recorded series, and now that I have a job, I can't do long-ass live streams! We're gonna have to demote one of the live stream series. I don't know which one. Either that or, like, I mean, The Promised Neverland's in its final arc, so maybe it's gonna end sometime soon. One Piece, definitely not. Chainsaw Man, definitely not. One Punch Man, definitely not. Dr. Stone, no. My Hero, no. So, really hoping on Promised Neverland, I guess. Either that, or, like, because... We'll see. I'll leave it there for now. So, thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now. Nya. Hello, everyone. This is Thermite, and this is the live stream portion of Weekly Shonen Jump. Hey, Lebhem. So, for anyone who's just tuning in, here are the current scores. We've got the Last Saiyuki right at the top. By the way, the Last Saiyuki is over. Kind of awkward. Did not realize that was going to happen. Good last chapter, though. Then we have Hectage, Black Clover, the Warden Higuma epilogue. That came out. Not quite as good as the Last Saiyuki's ending. And then at the very bottom, We Never Learn. Which is honestly very atypical for We Never Learn. It really disappointed me this time around. So, let's jump right into Chainsaw Man, Chapter 34. By the way, I am going to have to, like, move something from the live streams over to the pre-recordeds. I don't know what, though. Like, they're all very popular series. But, like, I have next to no pre-recorded series anymore, and, like, I don't really have time to do a ton of live streams, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, like, there's nothing else they can really do. We have to see either the new team or something right now, right? Hey, okay, so these are introductions. Cool. I'm probably not going to remember, like, I'm not going to write down most of these names right off the bat, because I feel like a lot of them are going to die. That just seems like a thing the series is going to do. If anyone's very flashy, I'll probably try to write them down. Okay. And that probably explains, yeah. Like, they're most likely much rowdier than even Denji and Power, because, like, honestly, Power is not that rowdy. She wants to cause incredible amounts of suffering to all of humanity, but she doesn't really act on that very much. She's honestly very, very casual. Whereas, like, I imagine a more proactive devil would be much scarier. Also, Zaku, yeah, feel free to leave whenever you want. Not like I can stop you or anything, but I just got off of work, and it's gonna be real tricky to squeeze in these live streams. Okay. Please give me that rundown. Chapter 34, Full Team. Okay. So, a shark devil, I imagine. With what looks to be Mirio's power from My Hero Academia. Like, that is just straight up walking through a wall. Though I guess what, like, yeah, you can even see, like, little streaks. I guess what it's supposed to be is he can treat anything like it's liquid or like it's water and then go through it. Ah, that's a dope design. Ah. Okay. Ah, man, I love him already. Okay, so who's this then? The Violence Fiends. Okay, also, yeah, like, they're all fiends, not devils. Whoops. I mean, violence is real surprising. Like, even, you know, with, like, Fox or with, Future, like, with more abstract things or with more, like, animalistic things, it makes sense. Like, yeah, sure, of course they'd be working with the Special Division. But violence... Like, violence is honestly really surprising. That's a strong pull. Hey, Straight Banana. Hopefully you can stick around long enough for me to get to One Punch Man. It's gonna be a little bit, but please hang in if you can. But yeah, I mean, like, who isn't scared of violence? And even with guns, like, most people, if you were to really boil it down, I don't think most people are scared of guns. They're scared of gun violence, right? Like, just a gun by itself is inherently scary because of associations, like cultural associations. But what you're really scared of is someone shooting you with the gun, or someone shooting your friends, your family, whatever. It's that violence. Okay, so so not only is he like, I guess that makes sense actually. Like that they would prefer to have them be fiends rather than have contracts with them because they're so strong. And then even so, he's too OP. He's still too OP, so he's always being poisoned at all times. Jeez. Like, huh. I wonder why, like, how this happened then. Also, it's a really cool aesthetic idea to have this, like, clearly it's kind of like the Hasakai from My Hero, where, like, he has a Plague Doctor mask, but instead it's a Plague Doctor mask that poisons him. Like, that's a cool reversal. And it even fits with, like, the way Plague Doctor masks actually worked, where, like, they would have sweet-smelling herbs in the beak parts that would supposedly purify the air. In this one, I imagine that entire beak's probably just, like, filled with poison. Okay. Zipper Devil? Maybe? Or Zipper Fiends? Oh, okay, so she is a devil, like, not a fiend at all. Okay. Devils with human-like appearances tend to be friendly to humans, but a devil's a devil. I guess that does, like, even apply to the future devil. Like, he wasn't super human-like, but he was humanoid at the very least. Whereas, like, someone like the Bat Devil was, completely non-humanoid. That's an interesting concept, I guess. Man, I was really hoping that it would be, like, Sticky Fingers. Oh, yeah! Wait a minute. That is true. Like, also, generally in in Chainsaw Man, most of the devil hunters you've seen thus far have not been that concerned with, helping people as much as they've been concerned with just killing devils. Whereas, like, he actually showed some amount of care for a human being. That's actually real surprising. Oh boy, who's this? I mean, is this even a devil? This might just be an edgy human. The Angel Devil. Okay. I mean, how many people are scared of angels? Like, the immediate contrast to that is probably like, oh, have you read the Bible? Have you read the Apocrypha? Do you know what angels really look like in, in Jewish tradition? And I would say, yes, I do. But first of all, she's clearly not designed in that aesthetic. And then secondarily, like, even then, I don't think many people are actually scared of them. A lot of people probably think those are freaky designs, but I don't think there's, like, a lot of, general fear in the same way that people are legitimately scared of violence or of guns. It does make sense that she would be, like, friendly to humans, though, because, like, I wonder, is there another criteria for what, like, manifests as a devil, then? Because I can't imagine it's got to be, like, this tipping point of X many people are scared of this thing, therefore it manifests as a devil. Although, maybe, actually. Like, if we're talking about, like, Catholic countries, if we're talking about people with, who are literally God-fearing, maybe then. Like, they would have this, like, righteous fear that would manifest in this, like, righteous devil. I could see that, like, just being religion as a whole. Is there a meme devil? Oh my gosh. I would be, like, honestly, a meme devil would be relatively strong. Because memes are, at this point in 2019, memes can be dangerous. Memes are a way of disseminating information that, that's how the alt-right is rising. It's due to the proliferation of memes that are really, really catchy and really easy to consume, but they have some darker intent to them, or they very subtly change your mindset in a certain direction. Like, they are pretty insidious. I could see people being scared of memes. So, if this person's going to be, like, Sword, then that automatically, takes away one possibility from whatever Knife Boy is. Or this could just be the actual human of the group, maybe. Perhaps. Oh, it's Aki! Well, definitely the human of the group, then. Okay, so we have to have had, like, a... did we have a time skip? It didn't feel like we had a big one. But, maybe at the end of last chapter we did. Because, like... Curse wasn't bound to this one, right? Like, the sword that Curse was bound to looked way more like a nail. They even pointed that out, like, he had to stab with it. So, I don't think that Curse is, like, part of this one. Maybe he just, like, switched out the swords. Because Curse was, actually, I guess they didn't say that Curse was mad at him, just that, it'd be a bad idea to keep on using Curse. So I think he might have just switched out for a normal katana. And it does seem like, like that's a completely unintentional thing. Like, it's like energy drain from Monogatari. Like, you touch her and just it automatically starts siphoning away energy. God, okay. It doesn't look like he cut him. Oh, I mean, that's very clearly a neck crack, though. I was about to say, like, okay, it's good that Aki's trying not to kill them. Maybe they'll be able to interrogate this guy, but no, that looks like death. Yeah, I could see it, like Rogue. Really? Like, we're doing this now? I mean, I guess in terms of, like, time passing in universe, it's been a little while, but in terms of us as readers, I didn't expect to see her again for, like, literally volumes. Okay. Oh, jeez. So, like, her nose started bleeding when she did that, too. Hey, Mr. Hondo. Yeah, What is this power she has? Like, I feel like this has to be connected to, the fact that she has some sort of a, like, maybe. Because she seemed to have some power over other devils, and then there's the thing where she, like, resurrected Knife Boy, like, very casually, too, just, like, by grabbing him and going, like, hey, wake up. So maybe. And it's gotta hurt extra hard, because, sure, like, Ghost doesn't really have sides or anything, but still. I imagine Aki on some level thinks of him, thinks of it as, as Himeno's power, basically, as a representation of Himeno to some small extent. So, this is not great. Not ideal. The idea of being able to swallow other devils makes a lot of sense. I could see that. Or maybe, like, she's able to, like, paralyze them or something to make them weaker, to make them more amenable to doing what she wants. I feel like there's got to be some really far-out use of her natural abilities that is leading to this. Because it's surprising that she's as powerful as she is. Though, I mean, I guess it isn't. Lots of people are scared of snakes. It's just what she does doesn't strike me as, very normally snaky. So I guess in a metaphorical sense, she's like the snake in the grass. Okay, overall, pretty good chapter. I'm going to try and ramble less just because of the compressed amount of time I'm going to have from now on. But overall, like, really good reintroduction to things going on. I really enjoyed seeing the new group. Like, this small facet of the new group, really, because this is only, which division? Division 4. Or wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So we do still have others that are going to show up at some points. Like, this isn't the entire consolidated team, as far as I can tell. But still, what a cool team. Shark Devil especially, like, I love this design. It's so cool. Okay. If I had to do bets, I'm not going to say exactly how long they'll last, because I don't think it's that interesting. But in terms of, like, when they'll die, assuming they all die, I'd say probably Shark first. Like, Shark looks really cool, but he also feels very foddery. He has a very simple fighting style. And it kind of, like, it's very generic. So I could see that, leaving pretty quickly. The alternative, though, is, like, it'd be, it makes a lot of sense to have a very complicated ability that then is immediately wiped out so you don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to think about, okay, how is this going to play into the series into the future, because they're just gone. Angel, Angel feels like she's going to stick around for a while. Just because, like, she has fan service ability, and she's got such a unique power, but at the same time, it is so very tempting to kill off the literal angel devil, like, potentially, the nicest, most innocent one, and she could have a moment where she goes full biblical devil to freak everyone out, like, man. I'm going to say that, Shark, like, assuming they all die, it would be Shark, Spider, Angel, and then Violence. I feel like of all of them, Violence is the one that'll survive the longest, because he seems generally nice, but he also has the potential to be super, super dangerous. And he's got the mask, like he has this inherent power limiter, and we're gonna obviously see that be broken at some point in the series. Angel makes a lot of sense as a character that could be around for a long time, but at the same time, like, she also has so many death flags. Like, she's literally the Angel Devil. She's already dead. Like, and she's so pure, whereas, like, even someone like Spider, I think, would have a better chance of surviving just because she's so, like, weird and not what you'd expect. And you could do a lot of weird subversive things with her. Also, yeah, F for Saiyuki. I mean, you can just watch my reaction to the Last Saiyuki. I enjoyed the ending for what it was, but I wasn't satisfied. Which I don't think anyone could be. Like, The Last Saiyuki is a series that should have gone much, much, much longer. This ending was, like, it did the best with what it could. As a story about stories, it ended up saying, like, hey, you know what was gonna happen, it's fine. And it is fine, but at the same time, it's not fine. We don't need the rest of it, but I sure wish we had it. I think they could all be chicks, except for Shark. Shark feels extremely masculine. But I could see, like, Angel feels very androgynous. I honestly can't tell if Angel's a guy or a girl. So I could feel like they could go either way. Violence might be female. I could see it, honestly. There's really no going one way or the other. Like, Fujimoto doesn't really have a gender bias. Like, Angel being completely androgynous or having both parts would both be very fitting with, like, the mythos of angels. I'd be pretty into that. Anyways, so that is Chainsaw Man. Let's move on to The Promised Neverland, chapter... Oh, boy. The Promised Neverland, chapter 146. I'm editing these VODs a bit less, just so because I have less time to edit them, but I'm gonna try and cut out those pauses, so I do get to go, next is, and then it cuts right to that, because, it's slick. Anyways, what the hell is happening here? I'm not the kind of person who usually, like, checks data books and remembers people's birthdays, except for something like, One Piece, where a lot of the birthdays are very punny, but is this really Emma's birthday? I mean, it's 19th right now, so I guess even then, like, even in Japan when this issue comes out, it wouldn't be the 22nd. Which makes me think, like, it's gotta be that it's actually her birthday. Oh, it's for the 3-year anniversary. But is her birthday on the 3-year anniversary? Like, did they set her birthday to be on the same time, at the same time that the first issue came out? Because that would be very thematic. Is that Krone? What in the world? Is that Palvis? Boy, oh boy. Norman, you're getting real loose with these invitations. Oh man, I really love Posca's, like, I'm usually not a big fan of sketchy styles, but I really like when she gets very sketchy and blobby. There's something about it that works really well with her art style, because, like, it's not like she erases all the detail. Like, Emma's hair is very detailed, these braids are very detailed, like, there is a ton of detail, it's just conserved in a very interesting way. Oh man. Oh my gosh, you go look. That is adorable. Oh my gosh, this is just diabetes inducing. God, I love it. So yeah, happy anniversary, Promised Neverland. I imagine they're not going to be around for a 4th. Like, the way the series is running, like, right now, chapter 146, the Imperial Capital battle. Just noticed that? I mean, there's no way this wouldn't be the battle. Last chapter, I believe, ended with Norman, blowing up all the bridges to the capital, so, like, we're really in the endgame now. There's not a whole lot else you can do. Unless we are going to just do an arc of the kids in the human world, which I would be into, but I don't know how you could do that in a satisfying way. Yeah, it's been a little bit, especially because, like, for a while there, Promised Neverland felt like a series that just got colors whenever they wanted to. Like, once a month it felt like. So, maybe Posca was, like, saving up for this, actually. Because I imagine she also, like, she has her own stuff on the side that she has never stopped. She has to do, like, original pieces for promotion and whatnot, so I could see her, like, having this on the back burner for quite a while, especially with all the detail in it. Yeah, okay, so let's jump into this battle. November 10th, 2047. The Tafari. By the way, actually, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, her hair does have strands in it. I was just saying at the start of, like, this whole reaction, that I was really freaked out by the fact that her hair was all red. Because I never really expected that. Like, it works well with her skin, it works well with the mask, like, it looks okay, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. I thought her hair was gonna be either white or green, and looking at this, it made me realize, like, wait a minute, no, she has a ton of different shades in this. So that red is definitely non-canon. I mean, if she can, like, do stuff with her hands with those extremely long fingernails, I feel like the hair's probably not quite that bad. Though, who in the world, like, ties it? Because she sure as heck doesn't. Partially because, she has people for it, and partially because I can't imagine doing your hair, like, I have trouble doing my own hair if I grow out my fingernails. I can't imagine doing it with her fingernails. Man, I mean, the Tafari's been built up ever since the first arc. That is wild, and this is the first time we're really seeing it. Like, Tafari's already passed, and we just never got to see it. Let's celebrate Gargablarg and her eternal prosperity. Not quite eternal. Honestly, the not Palvis clan, but the one with the masks, the one that seemed to live really close to the royal capital. I feel like they probably were bred in parts to do menial labor because, like, they look pretty humanoid. Like, there's nothing too wild going on with them. So they can probably do, like, little details and stuff. Okay, how is this going down? So we did see last time, I think we just saw, like, a couple bridges. But yeah, so it is literally all the bridges. They don't have anyone stationed by the gorges, though. Like, theoretically, some enterprising demons could shoot over some bottle rockets, grab some clothes hangers, and just, zip line across to this forest. So, this might not be a total genocide. I mean, I sure hope it's not a total genocide. Ooh. I mean, as much as I'm not into the massacre of demons, at the same time, I've got to appreciate this. Like, that's just a cool move. I mean, I wish I could see more Barbara fighting in a series that wasn't The Promised Neverland. Because, like, she is really cool, and I like the way she fights, and I think she's dope. It's just, I'm not into the whole murdering demons and also eating them thing. That's a little too far for me. Oh boy, here we go. Gilon's making his move. Man, he got so much less pretty than he used to be. This is gonna break, oh boy, rich boy, what was his name? Not Luvis, the younger one, the one who was like, that one was so beautiful. It's gonna break his heart when he sees Gilon, and he looks like this, and also he's a terrorist. Like, not great. It was it? No. I guess we'll probably see it in this chapter, hopefully. But it wasn't Luz. Right, I forgot about that. That they did, send off a bunch of soldiers elsewhere. So yeah, this is honestly much more doable than I thought it was going to be. Plus, yeah, like, they're not going to try and kill all of them. It's just, like, distract them long enough to kill the royal family and then set off whatever this bomb or whatever is that they have. Demons are essentially salmonella. Like, I can't imagine that eating demon meat is a good idea, especially because demons are literally viruses. Like, also, imagine that mouthfeel. Imagine if you eat food and then it just dissolves into tiny little bacteria that start swarming all over your tongue. Ugh. I don't want that. Ugh, okay, I grossed myself out with that one. Yep. I mean, makes sense. Like, they're going in, Gilon's forces, if anything, are going to be the ones that get massacred, so why stick around? Like, let them do the heavy lifting, and then come back in. And honestly, as gross as he was before, like, I guess the whole talk with the, the devil that raised... Oh boy, why can't I remember names at all? But, like, the one shot we had, in a sense, of, the friendly devil, like, that made me think a lot more about the culture of devils, or of demons, and the fact that, like, yeah, they do cover themselves up in order to look more and more humanoid. And even like this, like, Gilan looked really, really ugly when we could see all of him, but like this, he honestly looks pretty dapper. Like, the weird, gross bug eye thing is a bit of a problem. But apart from that, like, even then, it looks pretty cool like this. Aishi, right? My oh my, sorry, I just got off work, and I don't know what I could do to possibly fix this. I don't want to be this incoherent every time I do a live stream. Alright, hey Eyebrow Scar, bye Eyebrow Scar! Damn, to be time zone salads! That cannot be what you meant. But yes, hello and goodbye. Huh, wait a minute, that's not what they usually look like though, right? Yeah, like they're much wilder looking usually. No, stop giving highbrows such horrible advice. I mean, granted, I am glad to all of you who are staying up past 12 o'clock in order to watch this, but at the same time, bad idea. You shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be watching my stream. Huh, did he switch masks then? Or no, okay, I see. He was wearing that... No, he wasn't. Like, that is clearly much bigger than this one, right? Yeah. Yeah, like even here, it's drawn very differently. So is that Gion? Also, straight banana. If you need to go to bed, please go to bed. That said, I do find that, you know, there is a point where where staying up just keeps the information in your head a lot better than if you do go to sleep. Because then you have to, like, reset, you have to re-cram. So it can work out. It's not always the worst. But okay. I mean, maybe it's just a art thing, maybe not. We'll see. Oh, man. If you listen closely, you can hear the sound of his heart breaking. Huh? Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Mother, why? Yes, why? How? Like, did they, do they have traders within the actual royal families too? Is everyone gonna turn just because they remember how awesome looking Gilan used to be? You thought they were your family. From their appearance, their scent, and their masks. Oh, we ate your family. Okay. That's a real bold move. But yeah, like, I guess if you become whatever you're eating, then that should apply to demons. That should mean that you... Huh. Demon security must be real tough then. If literally anyone could eat your friend and then become your friend, or eat a body, or eat like a security guard and then become the security guard. Like, I mean, I guess that comes down to just, social cachet. Like, that's just not a thing you're supposed to do. Which is, honestly, what happens with a lot of human world things. Like, you also should not club a security guard and then, wear their outfit and then say that you're the substitute security guard, but people can do that. I mean, this is clearly not moral or legal. I doubt Gilan's playing by the rules of what should be, what high society would permit. It's not just Pupo's parents. All of them are mine. Like, is that literally... Does he mean all your family, or does he mean all your parents? Because that... I mean... based on the way it's phrased, I want to believe it's all your parents, which is an extremely bold move. All your parents are mine. Also, like, it's wild that they can do a horrible demon body snatcher thing to literal demons. That is next level horror. We never forgot the cruel treatment, the humiliation, the suffering, pain, and resentments. Huh, what is going on now? Also, does he have hair now? Did he grow hair? Wait a minute. How does this mask work? Like, Gilan's design is really confusing me now, because, like, it looks like he has the beard thing going on, but very wispy head hair. But then it looks like he's regrowing the hair rapidly here. Because, like, already here, it's much more flowy, much more silky. And then by this shot, like, it's a full head of hair the way he had it before again. Right? Like, are we looking at two different devil or demons? Or did he just grow a ton of hair from this shot to this shot? It might be because of the Mujika blood, actually. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Because, like, yeah, all the nobles no longer need to eat humans. So maybe that is the, the evil blood working its power. Well, the queen does not seem very impressed by this. So, I mean, let's see. Because I gotta imagine, like, if she's anywhere near the level that Luvis was, and Luvis was a decrepit old man, and she's older than him, but she looks younger. Like, she doesn't look quite as emaciated, so she might be obscenely powerful. It might also just be a thing of, like, she has a secret weapon, or she just has more guards. So it might be fine. Overall, though, real wild arc. Like, real wild chapter in a wild arc. The terrorism is afoot, and I'm excited to see what Gilon does specifically. And also, if we get a, like, an actual flip here. Because I could see him siding with Gilon at this point. Like, legitimately. Huh. Especially since, I mean, his family was killed. But, I mean, his dad wasn't killed. His dad was already dead. So, I mean, that's fine, right? That's how that... Never mind. As I was saying that, I realized how insane that sounded. Anyways, Promised Neverland. Fantastic chapter. I really need to cut off the meditation thing. I've had that on my calendar for the longest time, but I've stopped for a bit ever since I started work. Let's fix that later though. The Promised Neverland is definitely better than the Last Saiyuki this time around. I don't know though. I feel like I'll put it below the Last Saiyuki. Because, like, this was a big chapter, but I really liked this as, as a rushed ending chapter. So I'll leave it there, but I will say that, this position is high praise. I don't think a lot's going to go past the Promised Neverland this time around. So, let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot Chainsaw Man. Sorry, that wasn't intentional, I just kind of forgot. Chainsaw Man was, again, really solid. I don't think it was as good as this chapter. Like, it was a lot of introductions, which is fine in its own right, but I do think Chainsaw Man's a series that overall tends to be kind of middle of the pack for me, and then every once in a while we get a big chapter that jumps to the top for me. So I would say it was probably better than Actage, though. Like, this was a good Actage chapter, but this was a better Chainsaw Man chapter. I think that works. Did I do everything else already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All's good. Let's move on to... Whoop. Oh no! One Piece. Chapter 952. Hiyori and Kawamatsu. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but that's fine. That works. Alright, see you in a bit, Lamem. What is going on with this cover story? We have literally moved, like, 1 second in universe. Is this going to be a cover story where, like, you can take all the panels later on and, like, flipbook them and have them, like, actually move for a little bit? Like, is it all going to be this moment of them? Because, like, we've had 3 chapters now, or, 3 images now, of just them in this position right here. All the water is probably in the exact same position every single time. I don't know what's going on. Alright then. Hiyori and Kawamatsu, though. I mean, just having Hiyori interact with every individual person is going to be pretty exciting. Like, all of the Akazaya 9. Okay, so we're going back to, what was his name? Yeah, the bandits. I mean, Zoro, he already told you what's going on with the weapon. Like, it is... Like, it's Shusui. There's no way that he's going to give it up. And I do think, like, at the end of this arc, I don't think Zoro's going to leave with it. I think the people of Wano will present it to him and say, like, alright, you are a worthy samurai, you deserve to have this. And he's going to say, no, you keep it. Like, this feels like the place to let Shusui rest. Gyukimaru, that's right. I was thinking of his, like, real-world analog, the, was it Benkei? The monk that used to stand at a bridge and steal the sword, the weapons of passerby? I thought his name was going to be a pun on that, but it isn't. I wonder if this is going to be an actual thing in the series, like the God of the Blade. It's possible, like, there's been a lot of sword lore, and if we're going to get, like, full-on, complete sword lore, like, this is the arc to do it in. Alright, Kawamatsu's here. Hiyori's clearly watching. How is this gonna go down? Oh, and of course, he wouldn't recognize her. Oh yeah! This fight! I kind of thought we wouldn't be seeing, like, even a glimpse of it until the start of the next, arc, or whatever. Like, not arc, what I mean, like, the next segments of the story. But okay, so we are, like, picking right up. It's gone on all through the night. Jeez. I mean, now is the time to run away. I mean, is Kaido gonna really say, like, hey, I need some help in here? I don't think he's gonna need any help. Like, the best thing to do would be to just straight up leave. Just don't be here. I mean, I guess they can't because the fight's, like, moving the ocean itself. But still. He didn't even do that very coolly. Oh, man. I will say, though, like, if I were part of Kaido's crew, I would definitely be one of these guys. I love their whole aesthetic of just being so enamored with Queen. I have a softness for that kind of, I guess, dynamic. Like, just a bunch of people that are all super into one guy. He's trying so hard to try and get off Onigashima. Okay. Ah, okay, that is a cool line. Like, I do really like Queen a lot as a character. Like, his vibe is so great. I love the idea of him just being this, like, I wouldn't even call him a coward. Because, yeah, like, he wants to get out of this. He wants to get out of various situations. But at the same time, he's the kind of guy who would, when Big Mom was rampaging, he didn't just throw other people at it. He went in and he headbutted her himself. Like, he is a cool guy. He just, isn't fearless. Which, fair enough. I'm surprised he's alive. Like, that explosion. I mean, first of all, where did the explosion come out of? Because, like, it was a big, I mean, I guess it's One Piece physics, but still. Like, the thing that was exploding was inside of the elephant head. And then there was this big explosion coming out of him. Like, that should imply that he died. I mean, to be fair, he's completely bandaged up. So maybe all of his skin did get torn off and they just had to, like, fix it back up. I could see that. Like, Queen has a lot of charisma. Especially compared to, like, Jack, who is basically nothing. I don't care about him. And King, who has a cool design. He has some interesting implied lore already, but, there's not enough there. And even Kaido. Like, I do like Kaido's whole, being obscenely powerful and wanting to die thing. The fact that he gets drunk a lot. Like, I think it's fun. But even then, I would say I like Queen more than I like Kaido at this point. I mean, she really is the most powerful person on the islands. On an island with, tons of artificial zoans. Like, she could bend all of them to her will. Especially since it doesn't seem like she has a limit that we've seen thus far. I mean, I guess it's the fact that she makes the dumplings out of herself. Like, if she pulled enough of herself away, she'd probably, run out of herself. But apart from that... And we don't know how long it lasts, too. Like, if she meets Speed again, is Speed gonna still be on her side? God, I would love it if the ending to this arc is Usopp taking a dumpling and shooting into Kaido's mouth while he's turned into a dragon. Like, that would be the coolest ending. Like, it was insane when Zeus got taken at the end of Whole Cake Island. Imagine if the Straw Hats just take Kaido. I do wish he had died, though, because, like, that scene was really cool, and I don't understand physically how the explosion would have come out of him otherwise, but it's One Piece, sure. Okay, so it wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, we did get that tiny little time skip, so it did take him a little bit, but he did save everyone at the same time. I'm glad, though, like, even if he's saying, like, hey, I don't want any samurai debts, like, they're still gonna be in his debt. Like, they're still gonna be on their side now. So, oh, man. The big question really is, what are they gonna do with all these people, though? Like, I guess it'll just be, stick to the plan. Stick to the uprising that they were going to do anyways. Because, like, yeah, Luffy's not really a tactician when it comes to having people on his side. It usually comes down to just, alright, now go into the streets and fight your oppressors, I guess, while I fight the final boss. If people would drop One Piece because Kaido gets defeated by a dumpling, they are absolutely insane. Like, I think that would be genius. Like, that is almost on the same level as Enel not being able to hurt Luffy because Luffy's made of rubber. Like, not quite the same, because, that was just a thing that was always there throughout the arc, but they never addressed it until that point. But, I mean, I guess this is similar. Like, it's the same thing of at the start of the arc, we got the dumpling power, it still hasn't been fully explained, it doesn't seem to have a limit, and we're fighting someone who is part, animal. Depending on, whether you think he can, whether he has the dragon devil fruit, or whether you think he's a dragon who ate the Oni devil fruit, which I'm still holding on to. But either way, it should work. I would lose my mind over that in the best possible way. I really would want that to happen. If it doesn't, I won't be disappointed. It's just, if it does happen, I'd be so super into it. Or even if they do some BS where, like, Kaido gets controlled for a bit, but then someone snaps him out of it, like, I'd be fine with that too. I just think it's a fantastic thing to have in the background as a possibility. Okay. So we haven't. If we had their names already, I don't remember them, but it is cool to see them because we do know that there is like this big yakuza in Wano that isn't under the control of Kaido. So that's going to be good. Like, they have now, like, an actual information network. They have people who are fit and healthy who are out there. They have people who can spread the word better. Like, having Hyogura on their side really is a massive, massive boon. As backward as needing to take a crap as soon as you leave the bath. Is that a phenomenon? Because I've got to say, I've definitely felt that. That's definitely a thing that's happened to me. It hasn't hit me until right now that is very strange. Or, like, it's backwards. I guess it isn't strange, but it's backwards. Yeah. I mean, even then, like, Oda's honestly really good at doing goofy things and also doing the big fight that you want to see. So I 100% think that they could do that. Like, if I had to, like, do a legitimate bet on whether the dumplings have a part in defeating Kaido, I would say yes, they will, but it won't be the way he gets defeated. Like, I think the idea of him being pacified by the dumplings, but, like, him overpowering them or something like that, or, like, maybe she gets, like, knocked out or something, and then her hold on him dissipates, and Luffy has to land the final blow anyways. But, that buys him some time or something to, like, recover from Gear 4th. Like, I could see that working out. But I don't think it'll be a legitimate, okay, Kaido is now an ally now thing. That, I'd be fine with it, but I don't think Oda has that level of bravery. It would take a lot of bravery to do that. You're real lucky that you saved his life. Yeah. An act of mercy spared your stones today, boy. Okay. That's right. Yeah, they were stolen. Like, we had that, that whole scene where Frankie was trying to trace the path of where the plans went, and then he hit a dead end. So, okay, cool. This is really cool. Like, generally, I'm not a big fan of the jumping around chapters, but it does seem like we're pushing forward one, like, whole conceit of, like, just everything's being pushed into place. Like, enough suffering has happened, let's just have some legitimate progress. Like, it's probably not going to work out perfectly in the end, sure, so why not just have this be all, like, positive development for a little bit? And yeah, I do agree, like, I think once you get to the power, the abilities that were in Part 5, like, I'm not going to say anything crazy if anyone here hasn't read or watched Part 5, but yeah. Like, I really like the way that shook out, because it was thematically fitting, and it made a lot of sense for the fight itself. It didn't have to be a big brawly brawl. And even that, like, honestly, straight banana. I love Phoenix Man. I love him so much. He is, at this point, it might just be because his arc was so fresh, but he might be my favorite monster in all of One Punch Man at this point. Because he speaks to me on so many levels. I love so many things about him. And yet, then, like, was it a little disappointing that he lost? Sure. But the way in which he lost, I thought was funny. I thought it was fine. Like, a little disappointing, but it was an anticlimax intentionally, and that was, that's fine. Yeah, like, that is the core of One Punch Man. They get to do some, like, straightforward action, but that's because, a lot of the big moments in One Punch Man are subversions, or are goofy. Like, I don't understand people sometimes. I just don't understand people. Yeah, I mean, that's real big. How to release Luffy turns to all of that. There are a number of weapons factories throughout Wano. Near sure. What's Hammer want to use most are swords and spears. Oh, okay. Oh my god, that's so obvious. That's so extremely obvious then. Yeah, so it's Kyukimaru, right? Like, that's why he's stealing all these weapons. He's doing it specifically so that they have, maybe not weapons for everyone, though I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe after all this time, like, it's been 20 years. Maybe he does have enough weapons for literally everyone. But at the very least, I imagine he'll have a lot of, like, really good weapons, like even named swords and stuff, maybe, for the people who need them the most. That's super cool, because like it's also a clever way to say like, yeah, this is why they don't just invade a factory, because that's not what samurai are good at using. Oh boy, that's super cool. And incidentally, uh, honestly, I get. Well, how would I say this? I'm mad with the core concept of My Hero Academia. If that makes any sense. Like, I come from a history of reading a lot of superhero comics, like a lot of Western ones. So I get what Horikoshi wants to do a lot of the time, and I do think that. Sorry if you can hear the ringing in the background. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying that the thing that maps onto My Hero the easiest is X-Men. And in X-Men, like there's a lot of stuff that happens at school, but the X-Men also, like, even the students, they go out and they stop crimes, because like that's really one of the only ways to have them interact with villains and beat pro villains, or like not even pro villains, like beat villains on their level, like street level guys. It creates this pretty obvious balance, and My Hero does not have that balance. So I get what people's complaints are. I think it's fine for what it is, but I do see how it is. It feels a little forced for Deku to end up again and again in these situations where he fights like legitimate big threats. But I think that's just a weakness of the series at this point. And I hope that going forward, they do set up something that can get him, more out there, more on the fields. Because otherwise, it does feel weird. I get what people are saying there. It's just, I do think ultimately the fact that he's fighting big, dangerous threats and winning is not bad. Okay, so we're probably not going to make the connection in this chapter specifically, but the pieces are there. And I'm really glad that they did basically spell it out for us without completely spelling it out. Like, I get it now. Oh, okay, so we are going back to this. So maybe they will spell it out at the end of this chapter. Like, look at all the katanas I've collected. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, and she's so pure, too. She's so pure. Well, I can tell you that I put on quite a lot of weight thanks to that. I mean, he's put on that much weight eating poisoned fish, which is insane. Oh. But like that also implies that, yeah, like he was getting weaker and weaker, but at the same time, as long as he had some food, he would have been mostly okay. Like he could have supported her. It's just, oh, that is tragic. But at the same time, like he was eventually captured, which implies that, yeah, like it would have happened at some point, and at that point, maybe they would have found her as well. So I guess ultimately it does, it was for the best that she split from him. Who in the world is that? Like his vibe, like the goggles and stuff, makes me think that he's part of Kid's crew, maybe. Oh, okay, so these are like the legit bandits. So he's not giving up the game just yet. He's just running away. So I guess it has to be like, yeah, it is a super covert thing. Like he wants to make totally sure that no one catches him until the time is right. Until they do 100% have all the weapons they need and he can distribute all of them. Yeah, I can see it. So overall, good chapter of One Piece. Not a fave chapter, but a solid chapter. Ooh, my phone is dying. Let's see if I can plug that in while also being able to check the chats. Yeah, that's fine. A little awkward, but whatever. Are they members of the Beast Pirates? Probably. Anyways, overall, I'd probably put that. I didn't like it as much as Actage this week. So I guess by, the transitive property, it's got to be better than Black Clover, but below Actage. Still, solid. I really like the, progress we're getting thus far. If we can keep this up until the third act, I'll be completely happy. I do agree with Donut, by the way. Like, I do think we've got to hit the third act sometime soon. Like, everything's clicking into place. I still see what, that we do need to move a couple more things, but there's only so much they can do before they have to, really get the ball rolling. And if we're doing the whole, transitions between acts thing, then, this, it feels like we're right there where we need to be. There's not a whole lot else they can do without it just feeling super long, then. Anyways, next is... Oh boy, how am I gonna do this? Oh, also, the Pills Are Here 1. That's pretty cool. Like, I've these My Hero chapters have been pretty shaky. I'm not gonna lie. Not a like. I keep on thinking about My Hero as, as the anime now, because, that's how it goes. Horikoshi writes enough for 1 year, and that gets translated into about a year's worth of manga, and that's how, or a year's worth of anime, but, not exactly. And that's how they can continuously keep on doing the series. But because of that, like, the current arcs we've had, prior to My Villain Academia, it feels so weird. I don't know how they're going to chop them up and make them work. Like, this current arc, great. All the others, they're so short and weird and, like, weirdly spaced, and I don't know if I would tune into that and go like, oh yeah, this is a satisfying season. I would buy these Blu-rays. So, I do hope that they get the momentum really going. Anyways, let's jump into, like, for realsies this time, One Punch Man. Punch 99. Zombie Man. Oh boy, that probably didn't show up on my audio at all. Either that or it got super loud. Either way, oops. Hopefully my phone charges enough. Oh no, what's going on? Oh boy. Anyways, while I fix whatever's going on with my phone. So, a Zombie Man chapter. Exciting. Zombie Man is, he's a fan favorite. He is cool. I do think he kind of embodies a thing that I don't like about One Punch Man, which is the, like, trying to be legitimately cool aspects. Not that that's wrong, per se. It's just, I think it feeds the wrong, like, there's a certain portion of the audience that does hate it when Saitama does something goofy. Or they do hate it when there's an intentional anticlimax. And I think that, the traditionally cool characters in the series that don't really have much of a goof kind of feed into that view of the series. Of, like, oh, things should be intentionally cool without any, like, weird, funky downsides. When, One Punch Man is all about those funky downsides. That said, like, I don't dislike him as a character. It's just, that's the thing I've noticed. I mean, hopefully, assuming the anime gets a better production team, I do think, like, I haven't even read this chapter yet, but based on this thus far, like, if it's going to be a super noir-y chapter of just Zombie Man walking through and, like, just murdering people or killing off the low levels, I guess it can't be that, though. Like, the formula we've seen up to this point is that everyone fights a bunch of low levels, then they fight a really, really interesting high level. And I don't remember what Zombie Man did in the webcomic, so whatever's gonna happen, it's a complete surprise to me. Oh my gosh, okay, that is so cool. Like, it's cool in a way where, like, I take back what I just said, because I don't think you could animate this that well. Like, I think the blockiness of it is what makes it work so well. It has an almost, like, Dorohedoro vibe, or, like, a, Fire Punch does this quite a bit, too. Where, like, because it's so segmented, you can't, like, mentally fill in the gaps. You just see, like, okay, they end up here, there's, like, some butchering going on, but you don't quite understand what's going on, and then there's completely gone. Like, it would be weaker if you could see all the in-between steps. It's stronger because you just get the big impact moments. Also, I guess I do agree to some extent, Straight Banana. Like, the contrast between cool and goofy is necessary, in the same way that, like, having the other hero, like, it would be boring if One Punch Man was mostly about Saitama, because you just have the one gag very, very quickly. The other heroes are what make it, exciting. It's what makes you think, like, oh, maybe this person will win, maybe they won't. I genuinely don't know. They don't have plot armor. In the same way, like, also, I don't remember if Zombie Man gets an actual, like, goofy gag in the webcomic, or if he is just hardcore all the time. But if they do give him a goofy moment, that'll contrast really well with his entire ethos up to that point. Huh. Maybe you can kill that guy. Okay, who could this be? Like, it seems like they either, have someone they deeply respect, and so this is, it's exciting to see him butcher another hero, or it might be a situation where, like, they're scared of this monster, so they're thinking, like, hey, maybe he'll be able to beat them. Huh, we don't stand a chance, so go beat him. Okay. Oh, no, I get it. I read that as, like, we don't stand a chance against him, so we want you to beat him for us. But I think what they meant there was, we don't stand a chance against you, so you may as well go and beat that guy instead. Oh, okay, so we've seen this guy before. I don't remember I don't know if he's manga original or not, but I do remember seeing this design in the manga itself. Like in, the big introduction of all the different high-level monsters. Yeah. God, I mean, vampire versus zombie. Vampires are, the king of monsters, and traditionally they're capable of making ghouls, which are essentially zombies, so he should be more powerful. The big question is, how is that going to work here? Okay, so they are saying, like, these slobs want you to die. Like, they were also saying, we don't have a chance against him. I mean, yeah, okay, this logic makes sense. I mean, I'm wondering if Zombie Man is packing, like, silver bullets or something. So I guess I wouldn't. I guess this might come down to just like which of them can regenerate more. Jeez, that's speed. I mean, yeah, no need. Like your regeneration doesn't even matter if you can move that quickly. Like if you can't be hit. Oh, so he can't drink Zombie Man's blood. Cool. Also, like, is he regenerating his blood, or did he just only get like a tiny little taste of it? Allow me to inform you that the only true monster in the Monster Association is me. I do appreciate this vibe we've gotten in the manga of like, hey, here's this character. This is why this person is the strongest person in the Monster Association. Like, there's something really cool to that. The idea that there are all these different people who could genuinely be considered to be the best for different reasons. Whoa, is that color? That's real weird, actually. Okay, so webcomic people, was this in the... I mean, not webcomic people, like, if you read the scanlations, yeah, like, was that in the scans? Or is that just, like, a weird Viz thing? Murata made those clips red for some reason. That is really strange. That's a very odd choice. Like, especially because this is a, like, he hasn't really ever done the Green Worlds thing of, putting in one little bit of color in the, in a single chapter. That's not usually a thing he likes to do. It's like, why that specifically? I don't think we've ever seen him do something like this quite, but I guess it makes sense. Like, if his body can regenerate, then he'd be fine taking incredible amounts of knockback. Because, like, yeah, sure, it'll break his bones, it'll damage his flesh, but, like, he can just regenerate it. Jeez. Nah, he's not down. Definitely not down. Ah, that's a cool way of putting it. Like, not acknowledging him as a real monster, but just saying, you're a sham human. Are these his limiters being released? Oh my gosh, okay, that is super cool. That is actually really cool. Oh man. I mean, doing immortal versus immortal fights is always pretty tricky in terms of making them cool. Like right now we're in the stage where I just assume that none of these strikes are going to really hurt either of them, so the big question is, like, what can they do to make either Zombie Man or Vampire suffer a lethal wound, and then make us, the audience, understand that, yes, it's really lethal this time? Oh, okay, so it wasn't even just a stylistic thing. He did it to regenerate himself. God, he's so cool! I mean, I've got a big, big weakness for vampires. Plus, like, Hellsing was one of the first manga I guess not one of the first manga I ever read, but definitely one of the first manga I ever, like, caught up with. As opposed to just reading a couple volumes and going like, oh, well, I guess that continues, but I'm not going to read it for a long time. Like, so... And Murata's fantastic at this. He really knows how to get that, like, deep, inky, scary, like, vibe. I don't know quite how to put it. Like, it's not just the usual, like, this person is scary thing that Murata tends to do. It is more horror-themed. I guess I do associate, like, scary vampires in manga with, like, those big inky blacks, those, like, very, not, like, splotchy ink, bits of ink work, but, like, whatever this is. I guess blurry, almost? Or, like, fake motion blur. Like, it's not actually the, ink being smeared. It is extremely clean. But it gives off that feeling of being smeared. Oh my god. Yeah, probably bad to be around to watch this. Oh, is he absorbing it? Is he? Like, is he absorbing the bat, or did it just, like, was it just in him when it's, like, when he heals? I think that's what it's supposed to be, actually. Like, it's not becoming a part of him, it's just, like, stuck in him. Oh boy, time for Zombie Man to actually put forth some efforts. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is Zombie Man's real strength. Just his tenacity. Just, he is legitimately immortal, so no matter how much you kill him, he's gonna keep on getting up. It just comes down to whether you're as immortal as he is. He said he's tired. And I don't think that's gonna be that big of a deal. Because again, he can just keep on going. He's really exhausted. He feels like he's near dead, but I don't think he's actually gonna die. Like, it's like a video game where you do lose health, and then when you hit like 1 HP, you realize that, oh, the game won't allow me to go below 1 HP for this fight. In that case, it doesn't matter what my tactics are. I'll just use the weakest attack over and over again in order to like conserve my whatever, or I'll reload the game and try not to use all my end game's items right now because don't need to. I can't lose this one. I'll just whittle down my enemy one by one. Okay, this one won me over really well. Like the one with passing the pillar, that definitely feels like something that you couldn't really do in animation. But with this, like I can completely see this. Just a steady a steady shot of the door, and then it's all sound work. Oh, jeez. Oh, he looks so zombie-like there. Like, I think his normal design looks cool, but that actually looks way cooler. I kind of want to see him get thrashed again then. Because, like, that really gives off the feeling of Zombie Man. I don't mind the blood, but I hate the sweats. Even his lines are cool. Alright. I mean, I'll hold him to his word. Time for more violence. Solid One Punch Man chapter. Again, not my ultimate fave, but it was really cool. Yeah. I mean, that was a real Rorschach, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me moments. Did I rank One Piece? Yes, I did. It was very middle of the road for me. Like, it was really cool. Really loved Vampire. I think Murata did absolute justice to Vampire. Definitely, like, not on the same level as Phoenix Man, obviously, but still, he was super dope. Did I like this more than the One Piece chapter? I think so. Did I like it more than Actage? That's the big question. I don't think I did. Or I'd say they're on the same level, but if I have to put one above the other, I'll put Actage above it. Still, like, good work. Still, like, it's hitting, 50% or higher in the ranking. I don't know what else I really want to see. Like, right now, I'm just kind of, like, rolling with the punches. We are at 99, though, and one does feel like the kind of person who would make Chapter 100 of One Punch Man, important. Like, of the manga. Like, he is still writing the manga, even if Murata has executive privilege on, like, adding stuff in or moving stuff around. What could 100 be? Because, like, it can't be the start of Garo getting real serious. It might be a glimpse of Garo, actually. Like, that'd be interesting. What else could it be, though? Like, we've seen basically all of the main generals at this point. I guess we haven't seen, like, Yoroguro do anything, but we don't really get to see that until way later on in the webcomic. Maybe we'll do a little, like, something else with Orochi. Maybe we'll actually get Waganma out, perhaps? I could see it. But if I had to guess, for 100, probably Garo. Probably a Garo focus. What he's doing, I won't know, but I think that's well bet my bet on for Chapter 100. Oh, 100 is originally the final Phoenix Man chapter. I mean, that's actually really interesting that he would do that. Though I guess, like, yeah, with the moving around of chapters and stuff, who can say what the real quote-unquote Chapter 100 is? Like, not counting, like, outside of the fan translations, talking about, like, the volumes, like, the definitive Chapter 100. Do we have the volume out for it? Like, do we know what that is? Huh. Anyways, that's One Punch Man. Next, we've got... what do we have? Oh, right. We have... Dr. Stone, chapter 117. Z equals 117. The Kingdom of Science strikes back. Okay, so this is going to be a chapter that everyone loves. It's better than the Kingdom of Science's New Hope, but what joke was I trying to make there? I don't know. Hey, Lamem, just in time for some good old Dr. Stone. By the way, I do have this theory. Like, I don't think it's like an actual in-universe thing, but I do think that, like, in general, based on shonen logic, we can assume that people that have been turned to stone are basically indestructible unless human beings destroy them. And that is, like, I don't think that's a scientific thing, although it could be. But I think that's more of just a, like, we're supposed to believe that everyone, more or less survived those 3,700 years. It's fine. If someone like Tsukasa walks over and breaks them, or if like the people in this on this island smash someone, like that's different. But I think we're supposed to accept that most people will have survived like all of the natural disasters, like just natural climate stuff, random animals walking over and tipping them over. It should be fine. That's the way I'm like reading the series at this point. Maybe they'll subvert that, maybe they won't, but that's my logic going into the future. Alright, so Risui's back. It's been a long time. But everyone's still turned to stone. They're looking to get Kaseki back. Aw, in my eyes, you're already a full-fledged warrior of the kingdom. Oh my gosh. And I mean, he's not... I really love this, like, the show don't tell aspect of it. Like, it's not them saying out loud what they think. But you can accept it. Like, you can accept that, in reality, he probably said specifically, like, I meant a kite. And then Senku would have returned by saying, no, I mean a drone. That's so efficient. I love it. Yeah, the finger scars were super cool. I don't remember if I said this out loud or as part of something else. But I am excited to see if we're going, like, once we have the technology to stone and unstone people really quickly, like, if that's going to change everyone's character designs. Like, for instance, I do think that, I said this on the server, that's right, that, like, Kinro will probably, like, stop wearing glasses once he gets stoned and unstoned, because his eyes will be healed. Likewise, like, someone like Suika probably won't need the helmet anymore. She'll probably use it, just because she likes it. But she could get rid of the prescription lenses. Or she might put on the helmet instinctively. Or, I don't know how that would work. I think it's gotta be that Kinro would do it first, and then say, oh wait, I don't need these glasses anymore. Like, I do want to see some character design differences. Because I was really looking forward to seeing the villagers with, new cracks to, signify that they were turned to stone. But this could be cool in its own way. Plus, like, if you look at the generals of, the master, they have these, like, carvings in them that are very clearly, like, ornately done, implying that, yes, they were turned to stone, and then they had those cracks, like, put into them in a very clear way, and they were unstoned, and those cracks stayed there. So there's gotta be a way. Like, I could imagine that some of them are going to still have cracks just because of the sheer amount of damage that happens. But right now, I desire our godly artisan, Kaseki. Yeah, like, this is an example of what I mean, if you didn't notice it before. Like, it's so ornate, and it's very clearly, like, it is chiseled into him. It's not just a part of his eyebrows. I mean, I could see, like, Gen, for instance, saying, like, hey, I want to be healed. It's like, I've got this problem or that problem. So, stone unstone me, but I kind of want this back. Make sure to carve that back into me before you unstone me. Yeah, they're really deep. Plus, they can't just dive in and then dive out. First of all, very stylish censoring here. Good man service. I don't think it's, like, too sexy. I don't think this butt is especially great. I just noticed so he is looking at the butt, though. Or is he looking at the butt, or is he looking at his at his dick? Where are these eyes looking specifically? But yeah, like, I can appreciate it. Anyways, yeah, like, they have to go down to the bottom, and then from there, they need to grab Kaseki, who is going to be much heavier than he already is. because he's been turned to stone, pick up all the individual pieces, including like little cracked parts, and then like swim up with them. Like, you can't do that without gear. And, I mean, based on this, I think they're probably going to have to make gear, but I don't know how they would. Like, I don't know how much you need in order to dive properly. Like, I know about the bends, for instance, and how, like, you do have to, like, slowly come up, slowly go down. Or I guess you can go down really quickly. It's just coming up, you have to come up slowly to avoid the bends. But what do you need specifically? Like, I don't know what a wetsuit does, apart from just, like, protecting your skin. But, like, does the pressure of the wetsuit matter, or can a human being just go down there? Because you are, like, experiencing different, like, atmospheres of pressure on your body. It is squeezing you. Like, is that okay? Yes, I am saying that Kiseki is a thick boy. I'm saying that I don't think that Soyuz could pick up Kiseki's wiener. It's too heavy. Okay, so oxygen tanks. That I can see them doing. Like, they don't really have materials for it. Oh, okay, I see. I already get it. I mean, this has been a classic part of the Kingdom of Science. Like, the anime just got to the part where Senku takes the pulleys that he used to save Kohaku's life, and then he turns it into the, like, the makeshift car. And, like, that's been a thing throughout the series of just, hey, we have this thing already, let's turn it into something else. Which I really do appreciate that. I'm such a big fan of it, because it's something I could never do. Like, even going into, like, investments and stuff, I get freaked out whenever I hear, like, that's, the, for the Snapchat IPO, for instance, they pulled off a lot of crazy stuff for that. And it always freaks me out, because I'm like, oh, if I had $1 billion company, I wouldn't be able to do that with the idea of just, oh, we'll just be successful, and then we'll fix it later. Like, that is the wildest thing. And that's what Senku does just basically all the time. He's very much a, it will work out, we just need to do stuff right now to make it work out kind of guy. I mean, is this gonna hold it, though? Okay, we see the solder where the flange drums meets. And they do have the soldering thing. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, so it's not, like, gonna be completely airtight, but they don't need it to be completely airtight, as long as it's enough just to go down there for a bit. Because ideally, yeah, like, they get Kiseki, they have him make the drone, then maybe they have him, like, make some other scuba stuff, like, while they're off, and then once they have manpower again, once they have people on their side, maybe once they have the petrification bomb, then they can start working on, a long-term solution for collecting everyone and reviving everyone. Yeah. Like, I think Dr. Stone has strayed a bit from that idea of, like, constantly building on what we've already done in a way that feels tangible. Like, some roadmaps are better than others, but right now it's much more of a, like, hey, we have this resource, we can do a bunch of stuff with it, but it doesn't have that same excitement as the early parts, where it was like, okay, we have very few things, and here's how this directly connects to this, which directly connects to this. Like, the ramen, for instance, was super cool, because we saw, like, every little part of how that came to be. I mean, that's kind of, that is something you have to deal with in this kind of series, though. Like, you can't be that deep with everything, and everything isn't that difficult. Like, you have to accept that, yeah, things are going to get easier. And I do appreciate that, even when things are easier, we're not doing the standard isekai thing of, alright, you've seen how this works, we're just going to put it off to the side, we're just going to get a sexy lady to do all of that on the back burner. She's going to show up every once in a while to say, oh, Senku, we, did all of this without you knowing. This is fine, right? Like, everything is still more or less developed. It's just, it doesn't have that same flow to it, I suppose. But yeah, like, I am hoping that we get that feeling again. Or I hope that the things we focus on are going to be things that can give us that feeling again. Like, I'm fine with stuff going, happening on the sides, as long as they're not, like, the most important things. My big hope, by the way, is that at the end of the series, like, this has been a big part of the series, that Senku wants to go to space. I do think that with, before the epilogue, before, the big time skip, I think Senku is legitimately going to go into space. Maybe to get, like, the petrification ray that's on the moon or something. But I do think it's going to happen, and when that happens, I want to get, like, multiple chapters of them making the spaceship, and saying, like, alright, this is how literally everything that the series has ever done has built up to, like, legitimately sending a human being into space. Like, if they don't nail that, if they yada yada that, it's going to be super disappointing. Yeah. Like, and again, like, I'd be fine if they were just like, okay, so this is how you make rocket fuel. We're not going to show you a lot of it, but just, here's all the steps. This is how we'll do it. Let's put it off to the side. Here's how we make, plating that will stand up to flying out, out of the Earth's atmosphere. All right, that's done. Here's how we, go through astronaut training. Like, it doesn't have to be obscenely in-depth, but I want them to go in-depth with it. I feel like at least one of the generals will. Probably the girl. Gotta do the whole pseudo-harem thing, but maybe the master, actually. Like, depending on how the master goes. I could see the master being a relatively goofy guy who, just has this, like, big bureaucracy that does stuff for him, but he himself can be swayed. That'd be really cool. Because, I mean, I could 100% see a moment where it's like, Senku, Gen, and the master all cackling maniacally while they make, like, I don't know, beer or something. Yeah, that would be so thematically perfect. Like, to have, the main four, that thing that we saw very briefly as just a possibility, in the moments where Senku was dying. To have that be a real thing that actually happens. Because that would also, like, as much as it would be cool to have Senku be the first person to be in space in the New Worlds, like, it would make more sense if it's him with his friends, showing that, yeah, he couldn't be here if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for other people. Yeah. It's the ending to Empire Strikes Back. Oh man, that's what the chapter's called too. That would honestly be... Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, that does not look good. I would not trust... And they'll have to strap that to their backs too. I would not do that. That's a good way of putting it too. Like, yeah, don't underestimate Kiseki's skills. He wouldn't cry about this. He'll just build it all over again. Okay, that is an amazing goof. Yeah, like... They are acting like it's a big triumphant thing that shows that they believe in Kiseki, but really what they're saying is just, hey, we'll make Kiseki do it. No, okay, I've dealt with this before. Or, not to this level, but yeah, the more you pump, the more difficult it is. This is a fantastic visual. I love it. I love it. Oh my god. And they're all doing it together just to barely puff a little more in. Oof, 5 more hours per tank. Oh boy. Okay, so that was the pump. I thought that was going to be one of the tanks, implying that only one of them could go down. But okay, so they do have 2 tanks. Who else is going in, though? I guess it is Soyuz. Why? Like, when he was jumping in before, I just kind of took it as like, yeah, sure, why not? But why would Soyuz be the one to go in, along with him? Like, he was here, but I doubt he'd be like, oh yeah, as a baby, I remember the floor of the ocean here. That must be pretty mind-blowing. Like, yeah. Because they even have, like, the goggles. They don't seem to have anything like wetsuits at all, but they do have masks, they do have the hose, they have the air. They're tethered together, or are they tethered together, or are they both just tethered to the top? They should be tethered together just for safety, but I don't see that. True, actually, yeah. Like, it is legitimately going to be a lot of labor to, to bring up Kiseki, as I said before. Like, and, yeah, that makes sense, because Urisugi is here mostly just to, like, track the water to figure out where he's going to be specifically. So, sure. 10 minutes. That is rough. Yeah, they spent 10 hours pumping air. They have a total of 10 minutes worth of time underwater, and the machine blew up, so they can't do it again. And it doesn't seem like they have a way to combat the bends, too. Which makes me think that, like, they're going to, like, come up, not, like, super quickly, but, like, all they have to do is get Kiseki, so depending on how long it takes for them to find him, like, they might have plenty of time, actually. But even if they do it slowly, if they don't have enough air, like, they might have to rush it for a bit, which would be fine in its own way. Like, if that's just, like, that's Ryusui and, like, if that's both of them just done for a day or two. Like, they're just recovering, because the bends don't immediately kill you, depending on how quickly you go up. Like, it can just, like, leave you rough for a while. Come on, save Kiseki. At the water surface, right up there. Oh, right, he saw it, okay. Oh, and I guess we are confirming now that, yeah, like, he has, like, his thing is cheat level, like, memory. Man, Ryusui's build is not my favorite. I think it's just because of the way his muscles are defined. Like, they look kinda gross to me. Like, the butt looks good. I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And, like, the thighs are good, but, like, the arms are rough, and, like, the torso is not my favorite. It's not, like, bony, but the way the musculature looks is not my favorite. Yeah, I do agree. Like, I really appreciate that Soyuz is, like, he's the muscle, but he also is mainly important because of his minds. It is very, like, not what you'd expect. Okay, and Ryusui pulling his weight. Soyuz most likely would not have known about this. They've all shown up here. I wonder if Yo's finally gonna lose this thing. Because, like, it is still there. I mean, after being petrified twice, it's gotta come off, right? Right? I promised you all heaps of Dragos once you're back. Oh, cool. So, like, they even have a, like, yeah. Because, like, the guards are out there, so they can't just, like, say stuff. So, it makes sense. Both 3,700 years ago, and again, here and now. They're calling them the Petrification Kingdom. I can see that. Like, they are literally a kingdom based around petrification. I guess this is supposed to be, you know, the boss. This is the master. It's time for our kingdom to strike back. Alright, better collect all those pieces. Though, to be fair, like, if there's a big chunk of him missing, then I think maybe we will see Kaseki with, like, a few scratches. Like, you know, maybe there's, like, a little black part here or there. Like, my logic here is that Ryusui was broken with very clean strikes. Like, Kohaku specifically did it so that, yeah, like, there wouldn't be even, like, a single piece out of place with him. So it was fine. Whereas with Kaseki, like, all of the others were broken by amateurs, which makes me feel like maybe they will get scars. Like, just because there isn't enough of them to do a full, perfect petrification. Why does the silhouette look like a pudgy magma to me? It's too blobby. I can't say it looks like anything to me, really. Like, I can't project anything on that. But it could be. I mean, that would be pretty wild, though. And yeah, they do need to revive Yuzuriha first. Or, like, not first. Like, they're getting Kaseki first. I guess, depending on whether they can, like, if one of them can haul up Kaseki. I don't think so. I feel like that'd be a bit too much. Like, I think it's gotta be, like, because he's broken, one of them will carry the main body, one of them will carry the other pieces. I don't think they'll have enough power to carry up anyone else. But yeah, like, number 2 on the list is definitely Yuzuriha. She is vitally necessary. Alright, that is some dope Dr. Stone. Like, it was a very snappy chapter. It was a, alright, let's make something, let's immediately use it chapter. And it was all based around something that we already knew was gonna happen, we just didn't quite understand how. Yeah, it was comfy. It was like slipping into a pair of, like, well-worn sneakers that you adore. That's the, like, it's not a standout amazing Dr. Stone chapter, but it's a good Dr. Stone chapter. I liked it. I do think it is better than Chainsaw Man. Not as good as The Promised Neverland, though. Like, it wasn't standout, whereas, like, this was pretty standout. Man, these are some interesting rankings. Very atypical. But alright, we have one more thing, and then author comments. Let's jump right to it. We've got... Oh no. Let me reload this. My Hero Academia, chapter 239. Oh boy, it's Spinner's arc. Oh no, successor. Well, that didn't quite work out. Okay, so what I was about to say is, oh boy, it's Spinner again. Like, Spinner was the original narrator for this arc, and I do think we're gonna see Spinner's upgrade, or like Spinner's thing that he's been hiding. I think there's gonna be something. So, what could it be? I do want... I kind of want him to slap Shigaraki and then go, my dull-witted younger brother. It is I, your older brother. I guess I have no real guesses as to what Spinner's power really is going to be, but I feel like we're going to get it by the end of this arc. Maybe this chapter, because he is narrating. What you're seeing is me hanging on to the politician's van for dear life after the Twice has protected me. Hey, it's me, Spinner. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. By the way, right now, I still I would say I 90% believe that Redestro is going to be on Shigaraki's side after all of this. Like, because Shigaraki is the embodiment of liberation at this point. I still have the 10% possibility of him just being killed, but I think especially after the Hasakai thing, like, it would be stupid to kill him here, just for the sake of destruction. I feel like Shigaraki's, like, he's not a genius, but he's not dumb either. And plus, like, I think if Redestro is the one to surrender, that'll work out. If he keeps on fighting, then yeah, Shigaraki's gonna kill him. That's just how he works. But I can see an ending where, like, the League of Villains and the Meta Liberation Army combine, or the MLA just become the lackeys of the League of Villains, and I want that. I think that's super cool. And then even we could have, like, you know, to continue the X-Men parallels, we can have a splinter group that goes off, maybe with Ice Boy, who decide, like, okay, well, the you know, the Meta Liberation Army we loved is gone. We're gonna be the new Meta Liberation Army. Also, like, it's possible that he's just a gecko. It's more just because he was called out specifically as being like, oh, your only ability is that you can stick to walls. You are, you know, you suck. What a weak ability. Like, because of that, I feel like we've got that narrative irony in place for him to pull off something crazy. Like, I don't think he's going to be the true successor. I don't think he's going to slap Shigaraki's head off and then go like, yeah, what you didn't know is that All For One rescued me first. But, you know, like, I want there to be something more. If there isn't, it's fine, but I think it would work well. Oh, that's such a cool line. Will you close your hand and destroy it all, or roll it around in your palm according to your whims? That's up to you. That melding of hatred and delight is true freedom. The mech is already being shredded to pieces. Jeez, Shigaraki. Oh my god. Boy, the animation teams really got their work cut out for them. Like, they're... I mean, if Ufotable... how do you pronounce it? It is, like, it's UFO and then table, right? It's not UFO. Like, if they can come in to assist for a bit, I feel like they've got a good disintegration effect. They might be able to help out with this, because they're gonna really have to nail that disintegration effect for this arc. Jesus. I mean, what is more liberated than this? God. And he looks so genuinely happy, too. It doesn't even look crazed. I think because his eyes are closed. Like, Shigaraki looks like he's having a good time. God damn. Even Gigantamakia is shooketh. Also, to be fair, I feel like, there is the possibility that we'll still have to have the big final fights with Gigantamakia, but I think that if Redestro prostrates himself and says, like, hey, I'll serve you, and Shigaraki says yes, I think in that moment Gigantamakia would be like, alright, you know what? You deserve to be the leader. Like, you are a good successor. Like, this proves it. Whereas, like, if he executes Redestro, I feel like he'd just be like, why? I mean, he could also say, like, oh, you managed to defeat him. You are truly a great successor. But I don't know. That wouldn't work for me as well. I wouldn't enjoy it as much, I guess. Like, it is my own personal bias, but still. Deku's gonna need those 7 quirks. I mean, especially if, there is that big theory that either, you know, All For One will transfer, you know, the quirk All For One to Shigaraki, or that he already lost it. Like, he's in Tartarus, he can't use his quirks or anything, so no one could tell. And maybe All For One is, like, as a quirk, maybe it is just somewhere else. Maybe it's in a Nomu or something, and it will be transferred to Shigaraki when he's worthy. Like, I could see it. I could legitimately see it. But even then, like, we could be doing a Matrix-style parallel, where Deku has all of the quirks, you know, plus he has friends, and those friends count as having more quirks, whereas, like, Shigaraki, you know, like, loses the rest of the League of Villains, and then it's just him, and he's just got 1 quirk, and that makes him dangerous anyways, because, you still can't touch him. God, he is so powerful. Like, I'm usually not the kind of person who gets very hyped based on power levels, especially, again, because I did read a lot of Marvel and DC, and those quickly inundate you to the idea of power levels. But still, like, this is impressive, no matter how you cut it. Oh, he did chop off his feet. Or, like, he blew them off or something. Oh, my insight, it's being drowned out by just the look of Shigaraki. He's not even saying anything, just that evil glare is enough to make everyone drop what they're doing. He's got that conqueror's hockey. But yeah, that's it. I mean, Redestro has never been a dumb person. He's very smart. He knows now, like, that's it. We can't fight anymore. We're done. And he corrected himself. He wasn't saying my will. They were following Destro's will. He's finally accepting now that he himself was never liberated. He was a slave by himself. The ideal citizen of your post-liberation world is one who would embody freedom itself. Facing down the weight of history on a faded bloodline, with the abyss looming before him, this young man laughed it all off. And he sees it. Gigantomachia looks down and he sees the spitting image of his master. This is the power of All for One. Even if it's not the quirk, it is that power, that presence. This is the man who deserves to lead the League of Villains. The Meta Liberation. Oh my god. The Meta-Human Liberation Army is yours to command. Oh my god. Our dead-end tail started picking up steam again. God, that's so goofy, but I love it. Yeah, you're a CEO, right? That means you got money to burn. Like, yeah, he's finally being smart about it. He could execute Redestro here, but why would you? This is the perfect scenario. Like, he has legit power, he has illegitimate power. Just use him. Don't execute him here. You don't have to be murder hobos again. This is, by the way, my favorite part of any, like, big D&D campaign. I love the point in which a group finally goes, like, you know what? We don't have to wander around anymore. We've got everything we need. Let's settle down. Let's be, the big bosses now. I've always loved that aesthetic, and I feel like Shigaraki's finally gonna stop being a literal murder hobo. It's time to settle in as a real leader. Also, it's just very impactful for this to be, like, for a hero, it's, like, how do I put this? There's the classic image of a hero in a big, rubbly wastelands caused by the villains. They destroyed everything, but they were able to protect the world, and it's that hero standing in the rubble. And I think there's a really powerful contrast here with Shigaraki being the one who created this warped, crumbling horizon, to use Spinner's words. Like, this is all his destruction. If the MLA did anything, it's completely drowned out by the amount of damage he himself did. He created all of this, and he's standing in it, and he is the ruler of the wastelands. There's something so beautiful about that I adore it. I really adore it. Who's more free than a hobo? But even then, like, I feel like Shigaraki, like, he's not going to tie himself down to this. Like, Detonat as an organization and the MLA, like, they're going to be the ones handling all of the, all the day-to-day stuff. All Shigaraki's getting is, the money and the power and the people. Which is, in its own way, freedom. Like, I used to have this idea for One Piece of, like, oh, maybe Luffy won't be the king of the pirates, because being the king of the pirates means that someone's always after you. It means you've got territory to control. And it doesn't seem like he would like that. It feels like Luffy would want to be someone like Shanks, someone who can just sail the seas and be completely free, who doesn't have to worry about anything at all. He just does whatever he wants. But then someone pointed out to me that, oh, Luffy could just delegate all of that stuff. Like, he doesn't have to do it himself. Why would he? And that made me believe once again that, yeah, he would be suited to being king of the pirates then. And that's what Shigaraki's done here. Like, he's made his own freedom. This is the true form of liberation. It's such a, like, obvious thing to say, but goddamn. Thank you, Horikoshi. This is masterful storytelling. I love it whenever I read a series, I'm left saying exactly what the mangaka or the author or whatever wants me to say. Because, like, that's the only thing you can take away from it. Like, there's such a clear, obvious end. But yeah, and I hope we don't see the League of Villains for like a while now. Like I need to see some like Deku focused stuff, some like hero focused stuff. Like maybe whatever's going on with Dabi and his boyfriend, sure. But I want to stay away from League of Villains for a bit so that the next time we see them, like I want them to have new outfits made by Detronauts. I want them to have the organization set up. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much they could do. Ah. What a chapter. My hero has been on fire. Did I rank Dr. Stone? Yes, I did. I've got to put it above Last Saiyuki. I love it. I love my hero so much. My hero has, and like, I guess I shouldn't even say I love my hero, because yeah, there's been ups and downs. The last couple arcs have disappointed me, as you have noticed if you've read, if you've been with me throughout my reactions. But this entire arc has been glorious. Beautiful. And I really hope that what Horikoshi's assistant said, it comes to pass. Like, I hope that they are working on keeping up this momentum, making the series as good as it can be, keeping things moving. Because I do believe that what I don't like about My Hero is a core part of the series itself. It's the fact that it is My Hero Academia. That we do have the hard school focus, and that the series is designed in such a way that the school doesn't allow Deku to have, a rogues gallery, apart from like League of Villains themselves. But like he's not running out and fighting the League of Villains on day after day. Like there's a clear divide between what the students are supposed to be doing and then the actual like big exciting arcs. And it's always a transgression of like, oh, this awesome thing is happening, but they shouldn't be here because they're students. I hope that the series can strike an interesting balance that keeps up what they're doing right now. I don't want to retool the whole series, but I want My Hero to be the best it can be. And I don't fully know what I want from it, but I'm excited that, like, from this arc, I feel like Horikoshi has a good idea of what we can do, where the series will be in a couple of years, and I'm excited to see it now. This has reinvigorated my love of the series. Man. Honestly, I think, like, one of the first things they'll probably do is have Giron be, like, the head of, not the head of Detronauts, but something like that. Like, the Urabancho. Give him a big, big, big upgrade. Because I think that would be super cool. Like, imagine, like, flipping the tables that hard. Having Giron go from being, this two-bit broker who stuck by the League of Villains that entire time, and then he gets rewarded by the League of Villains saying, alright, well, those guys that beat you up? We own them now, and you know what? You're the one in charge of them. Do whatever you want. That would be the biggest... I want to see, like, a scene equivalent to Dr. Kaseki from Dr. Stone, looking like, I believe Lemem in chat called him the first pimp of the Stone Worlds. I want something like that, but with Giron. I want Giron to be the Detronaut pimp. Anyways, we're getting a bit off track, so let's jump into those good old-fashioned author comments. Yeah, 3 years. I'm so happy for the Promised Neverland's duo. Like, it's been such a fantastic series. And I'm really glad that for a series that feels so very, like, un-Jump-like while still harboring the spirit of Jump, I'm really glad it's been doing so well. And I'm glad that it does look like they're ending it on their own terms, that it's not being stretched out or anything. Congratulations on the one-shot Furuta-san. Was that the guy who did, was it Efken? No, that was the guy who did, Yusui Matsui. Did they do another one-shot in the Japanese version that we didn't get to see then? I mean, honestly, the easiest thing they could possibly do is to not call them mangaka musings. I don't understand the purpose of this. And, like, I listened to the podcast. I know a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff with Weekly Shonen Jump. They still have never explained why they did this. Because, like, they even have an author comments tag. They tag all of these author comments and mangaka musings. And these are known as the author comments. There's an image here that's called... It's author comments. Why did they do this? More importantly, why is there a title thing here that says comments that is not the author comments? Why not just... Like, why does it go to this? Because, like... My immediate thought here was like, oh, maybe it's supposed to be a comment section for Jump itself. But no, it isn't. It's just their, like, rundown of this week's chapters. Which is honestly not good. Like, I would never read this. Because, like, when would you read this? if you want to read the chapters themselves, this is just a vague spoiler. Like, it's not good enough to be a real spoiler. It's just like, hey, in Act Dodge, this thing's happening. Can she find her inner Kool-Aid man and burst through? Like, it doesn't mean anything. That's something that we knew from last chapter. And then here's a panel from this chapter. It doesn't really help at all. It's the worst of both worlds. It doesn't give you enough information for it to be like a good spoiler that makes you want to read more. But at the same time, it is a vague spoiler in the sense of like, oh, well, I don't want to know anything before I go into the chapter itself. Plus, like, it shows everything. So, like, if you don't read, like, Black Clover, for instance, this isn't a real spoiler or anything, but, like, it could be spoilery. I don't understand. What's the purpose of that? Anyways, what was I doing before I got onto this rant? Oh yeah, author comments. Sorry. I mean, I imagine if you guys are watching this at this point, you're okay with me going off topic, but at the same time, I keep on saying that I'm trying to trim things down and make it, slimmer so I can do these properly and have people actually watch the whole thing. But at the same time, I'm going off on crazy rants about nothing. I went to a spin class in the dark. Oda, what are you doing? I feel like Oda has too much free time now. Technically, it should be called a tank instead of an oxygen cylinder, but I went with simplicity over accuracy. I could see that. Like, yeah, like, make it clearer to the audience, because he's already doing a lot of sciencey stuff. I'm fine with that. Because, like, what he's doing is more or less pretty darn accurate. So, I'm fine with that. I want to get my hair cut, but it always feels like I can't spare the time. But now I'm realizing my hair is down to my shoulders. Nothing wrong with that. My mom sends me important paperwork, and while she's at it, she also includes grilled fish in the same package. That's such a cozy idea. Though at the same time, probably not great. You probably don't want fish grease all over your, like, birth certificates. I can't wait to see Midsommar and Joker too. What's that? I feel like I've seen that name before. I'm also pretty excited to see Joker, by the way. Like, from what I've seen thus far, I've only seen the initial trailer, but it looks cool. I'm avoiding anything else. I hope they do, like, I don't even know what I want from it, really. I'm just excited to see a new take on Joker as a standalone thing. Sorry I'm late, but congratulations to Tabata-sensei on the birth of his baby. Yeah, I was surprised that Taishi wasn't calling that out, considering how family-oriented he is. I know that feeling, though. It's been very, very humid here, so every time I come home from work, I always go downstairs, the humidifier is completely filled up, and the house feels super humid anyways. Not really. Nothing here is that interesting, but overall, fantastic issue of Weekly Shonen Jump. And what time is it right now? For me, it's almost 8 o'clock p.m. For some of you guys, it's got to be like 2 in the morning. Full transparency, I get off work at, I guess it doesn't really make any sense for me to say the exact time. I get off about, like, 4 hours from where this is right now. And then it takes me, like, around an hour or half an hour to get home. I guess let's say an hour, because I've got to get home, I've got to, like, relax for a little bit, get some food. So it feels like, 5 p.m. for me is when I can really ever start. So let's see how this goes. If at all possible, I'd like to do it earlier, but, who knows? We'll see how it goes. Also, next week, I'll say this in the weekly updates, but for you guys, you'll be the first to know. My workplace is sending me to Montreal. Therefore, I won't be able to do the live stream next week. I'll still, like, pre-record it. I might pre-record all of it on Sunday and then put it out on Monday. We'll see how that works out. Actually, wait a minute. What day is Sunday? Yeah, that should be fine, because I'll be gone from the 26th to the 28th. I'll be, like, living in a hotel for that time, and you know how hotel internet is. Even if I could do a live stream, I don't think I'd really, like, I don't know if it would really work out or not with hotel internet, so we'll see. Anyways, fantastic issue of Weekly Shonen Jump. Here's the final rankings if you want to see them immediately. I really, really wish we could just get more of the Last Saiyuki. It is a good series. Like, if you have not checked it out at all, if you like slow burn series, I would still recommend it. Because, like, for what was there, I think it's worth reading. In the same way that there are some series that get canned where I'm like, wasn't really worth it. It died before its time. I think Last Saiyuki did die before its time, but there's still enough there. And it reminds me a lot of The Promised Neverland in the sense that it is a very different pace, a very different focus from what most shonen series are like. And I wish it could have done well. I wish it could have stayed around for longer. Because I feel like it could have said something really big about, what you can run and jump. Whereas I guess its cancellation is saying something very different. That you can't run something that's with that much of a slow burn in Jump anymore. Especially Noah's Notes, yeah. Like, I wish that there was a, like, Shueisha-owned magazine where things that, end in Jump that aren't, that have a lot of fan support can just, run into. Because there's so many good series that I think could survive outside of Jump just somewhere else. But they just die in Jump, and that sucks. It's tragic. But I guess alternatively, if they didn't run in Jump, we wouldn't be reading them. Yeah, like they have Jump Plus, and we have Manga Plus now too, which airs most of the Jump Plus series, which most of them don't seem that great, but I mean, Spy X Family, really good. If they could just do that, and they did that with Higuma actually, with this Epilogue chapter. They said specifically that the epilogue would be on Manga Plus, and we got it in the English Weekly Shonen Jump because that's just how they do things. But if they could just transition, if they could just say, like, all right, your series is doing pretty darn well, but it's not good enough for Shonen Jump, so we're moving it to Jump Plus, I'd be fine with that, Like, just for a little more. Oh, man. Yeah. Noah's Notes was amazing. Anyways, on that note, let's end it off here. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you, I'll still be putting stuff out. Expect some Dorohedoro real soon. Expect some, what is it called again? Sootei. But apart from that, I will see you live the week after next week. So thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now. Nya nya.